What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 304. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero.
Yo.
Adam Vale.
Sucker Free Sunday.
Coming in right at the last minute, Mr. Brett Murdoch.
Yo, I've been here.
Oh, that's awesome. Like, you weren't here like a second ago. And, of course, Brian Manjoma.
What up?
What is going on, guys, man? No Chris action tonight. New father shit, tired. My man's tired. Needs some sleep.
He's having the Odin sleep right now.
He ain't sleeping. That kid is still crying.
He ain't going to be sleeping for years.
I'm telling you, it's rough. The first few months, very rough.
Shit is crazy, man. All right, got a packed show as always, but before that, we got a lot of things to say before we even start. All right, first big shout out to Hip Hop Gamer and Torrance Davis for joining us for Throwdown episode 304. Another crazy episode. We finally got it out of him. We know that the remastering engine is coming, according to Hip Hop. He says it'll be coming soon before the console, so we'll see, But it was a good episode. I like the part where we reminisced about the past, a lot of old bit back stories and SDF and play, some other stuff. A lot of fun, And Torrance is always just cracking me the hell up, That was good.
As he does.
Yeah, he was cracking all of us up, Manny, like you especially, like I like how you're like still doing your thing and then you still got that smile on your face every time Torrance says something crazy. Oh, yes. Man. Torrance never lets us down, man. And of course, I want to give actually, this is big because we've been teasing this for a while. And we finally got it, man. We got a new channel trailer by our boy, Mr. Jose Polanco, a.k.a. the Brooklyn Bear. And this shit is legit.
Yep, looking good.
Like it came out exactly as we envisioned it, and I was telling the guys this beforehand because if you go on Twitch right now, you see our trailer and Twitch automatically plays it without sound. Even without sound, it's fucking crazy, like all the effects and stuff. So yeah, good channel trailer. So you guys will be seeing like updated versions of that every couple months. We're basically the same basic trailer, right? But have like newer games thrown in there. But I'm very, very happy with that. But the core stuff in there, the older games, they're going to stay in there forever. Some of the cool little flashy things are all going to be in there, but we're going to swap out to some newer stuff every once in a while. But that's it. I'm very, very happy. So thank you to Jose, not only for that, but also for our intros here on Twitch as well and YouTube. Makes things just a lot more professional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's always nice to have a little something there rather than just a stagnant like logo.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys want me to play it? I mean, I could play it right now.
Oh yeah, play it right now. You guys are gonna see
sure.
it. Yeah, play it right now.
Let's do it. Let me share
Pop
my
it up
screen.
in there.
Yeah, pop it up in there. Right. And for the audio guys, you guys are gonna get to hear it too. Just hear it, not see it. But you should definitely see it because it's dope. We're gonna give Carlos a little bit of a chance to get this. So I'm gonna just vamp. Hold on. Before I hit this, okay, I'm gonna do it now. Check this out.
All right. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Go ahead, sir. What's going on, people? Welcome to the Throwdown Show podcast. Throwdown is a twice-weekly video game podcast that covers the latest in gaming news. Our panel features gaming enthusiasts and industry insiders with a deep passion for the medium. We're your number one source for truly honest and insightful gaming discussions. We stream on Thursday and Sunday nights at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on Twitch with the occasional game stream on weekends. You can watch past episodes on YouTube and find us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show. Visit throwdownshow.com for more information. If you're a gamer who's passionate about the industry, then you've come to the right place. Get ready to throw down. Shit is tight, man.
Legit, man.
Good stuff.
That shit is awesome. So Jose, man, shout out to you, brother. Good stuff. And you guys are in the chat right now. Let us know what you thought. Couple more shout outs. We got to give shout outs here. Last night I was hanging out with my good friend Erica. You may know her as Eric Cuts for the Win, big time streamer. I haven't seen her since like PSX 2017, I believe, but I first met her years ago at E3. So she has a new podcast, or newish podcast called The Backlog. It's her and her friend Char, and she invited me on, and we talked about a couple things, with a lot of fun. Again, I haven't talked to her in a while. And also shout out to her husband, Kenny, who's a really good guy too, so it was good hanging out with them. And of course, I got a surprise for people in this chat right now, even you panelists.
Excuse me?
What?
All right, one of the things I love about this show is when our fans feel the need to give back to the community, you know? So today, we're actually going to be giving out a free Xbox Game Pass Ultimate 14-day code courtesy of Mr. John Christ. He hit me up earlier. He's like, hey, I got a free code. You want to give it away on the show? I'm like, yes, you know? So,
Thanks, Mr. Christ.
yeah. So sometime during the show, at at the height when like we have like a lot of viewers and stuff, we're gonna give out a free code. You know, so stay tuned for that. And of course, speaking about free stuff, we're also giving away a free next gen console. People, the contest is ongoing. We're getting a lot of replies to it. If you want to win an Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 from us, make sure you head over to our Twitter at Throwdown Show. In the pinned tweet, there's gonna be a question. You reply to it. And, we're going to pick you guys at random. And then on October 22nd, during episode 307 of Throwdown, which is going to be on Thursday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, we're going to announce the winner live. And in case you guys are wondering, yes, this is international everywhere on Earth. But if you're from Mars or Mercury, we don't got you there, man. We can't, that's a lot of money, covering, expenses and shit to go to Mars, Elon Musk, man, that guy's a grifter, Mars right now. But yeah, the contest is doing big, man. You got, because of that, obviously our numbers are growing and stuff every day. It's good shit, man. But yeah, I think I babbled on long enough. Let's get into it. Questions, man.
You Babylon?
Babylon
Babylon 5, son.
Babylon 5, bring it back.
I go into Babylon. We got questions from Damien tonight too. Yo, what's up with Jamaicans' obsession with Babylon? They're always talking about, hey, Babylon, man. Like, okay. Anyway. Yeah, right. It's crazy. All right, man. First up from should I even have my questions right? Oh no, I do have my questions wrong. Because I switched in the last minute. I'm like, I'm gonna switch these questions around. So give me a sec. I'm gonna send a vamp. Oh, by the way, Manny and I have a unboxing video up for you guys to peruse as well.
Yes, you can. If you check after the show, check it out. It's on YouTube. It is the Lim Toys. What is it? Ahab the Phantom Legend.
I wonder what that means.
It is, for those of you who can see, it's a very familiar looking character from a certain game that starts with a metal and ends with a gear.
Yes.
Yeah. And we, talk about that. It's sort of a sister video to a previous one we did before on two other figures that are from that specific game where the Phantom Legend is from.
Manny, so you don't plan to get any those left behind, whatever the hell it's called?
Was it those left behind and the RPD officer?
RPD officer.
or the zombie killer?
Yeah, zombie killer, yeah. Or was it the RPG cop or something?
Yeah, RPD cop. Yeah.
Oh,
no, it was RPD officer. Yeah, that was the one.
All right, man. Carlos just confirmed that Doritos are the official food of the Illuminati. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Crazy. Yeah, that's what Piggy Dan says.
It's been. I confirmed it.
Yeah,
it's been confirmed.
We should ask Brett about that. He knows about the Illuminati, man.
Oh, I know nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
He doesn't know anything about
the
Illuminati.
Know nothing,
Well, the first rule of knowing about the Illuminati is to say that you don't know anything about the Illuminati.
All right, man. Let's get into it now. I got the proper question ready, so let's do this, man. Mr. Tumeke. All right, so his question is, now that we have seen some more footage of the PlayStation 5 in the flesh or in the plastic, has any of you guys changed your minds with regard to the way it looks? Also liked how the controller tells you which player you are on the front. So yeah, if you guys don't know, a bunch of Japanese influencers got a chance to check out the PlayStation 5, hands-on and stuff. They put a bunch of videos out there, and he just wants to know if our, minds have changed about the design, because we haven't actually seen this thing with another person until today. Before, it's just mock-ups and stuff with like 3D models based on how much, the size and stuff. So everything was all CG or like AR or whatever. So now we can see real people next to a real console. I'll go first. My opinion hasn't changed because I don't know what my opinion is yet. I don't know if I like this thing or not. I'm still like, I know I don't like the white. That hasn't changed. I don't like white like machinery. Like, I like it black,
you know what would piss you off, right?
What?
The development kit has a black controller.
Oh man, give me that shit.
Of course,
it showed that.
Of course,
yeah. But yeah, it's still I still call it the PlayStation Freedom Tower, because that shit is big. Like, it's still big. Like, you know, but yeah, my opinion hasn't changed on it. What about the rest of you guys?
Nah, it's about the same. I mean, like the only thing about it is I'm looking at that stupid thing and I'm like, okay, so where the fuck am I gonna put this stupid thing? The thing it needs what is it, a stand regardless of what way you put it.
Yeah.
So if you put it on its side, it still needs a stand. You put standing up, it still needs a stand. I mean, to be honest, I'm just gonna stick that shit behind my TV and call it a night. If I ever when I get it, because that's at least where I have the most room.
I was one of the ones that were more optimistic about the design. I'm like, oh, it's interesting, it's different. You know, it doesn't look like your standard console. You got to give them points for that. But man, the more I see it, and with that video and even all of the memes, I'm like, oh, this is going to stick out like a sore thumb.
It's kind of retardedly huge. Like it's not even, and it's not, and it's like like the PlayStation 3, it's an odd shape.
It's like if it looked like that and it was more, you know, smaller, maybe it could pass by. But it's big. It's the size of
it's a big boy.
It's huge. It's huge, and it's like, man,
I'm surprised.
Okay, like just like what you said, it's like, where the hell am I going to stick this thing?
Yeah. I'm surprised for a Japanese console they made it so big.
Yeah,
I thought they learned their lesson from the PlayStation 3.
Maybe this is their way of making it permanently quiet, not just quiet at launch. They were like, we need fans. How do we do this? We got to make it bigger. We got to put.
Yeah, I think it's that size because there's literally an entire graphics card in there. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, they just stuck the shit in there. You know, it's the whole graphics card. Adam, has your opinion changed on the design of it?
No. I mean, we're already in. That's it. This is what it is. It is what it is, and as long as it plays games and it works, I'll be happy. And it doesn't sound like a hairdryer. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Brett. Yes.
He's probably talking right now instead of unmuting yourself.
Yeah, I think he muted himself.
That's him hanging
Yeah, I
up.
did. I'm still firmly at meh.
All right, that's a meh.
I don't like the design. I don't like how huge it is, and I don't like the fact that it's fucking white. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make some sort of plan to hide the goddamn thing, and I don't like that. So
until you can cover it over with some stickers.
Hey, a vinyl wrap. Get it right.
Hey, you know, we got to get those motherfuckers as sponsors, man. I'm telling you.
We have to. Gotta have some.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Brett.
So yeah, like it's, I don't like. I'm trying to gauge it in context because I have both systems coming. So, I'm kind of looking at the Xbox and I'm like, okay, you're just got like a big weird obelisk. Okay, I can probably fade you in the background somewhere, and then the PlayStation fucking bursts out on the scene, like looking like some Elysium shit. I'm like, I do not know what I'm gonna do with this thing. It's like 3 feet tall. It's just, it's way bigger than you thought. And man, I just get, it makes me real nervous the fact that like people are just getting their hands on the console now. Like, oh, it's like a month until the goddamn thing releases, man. Like it's why have we not had more time with this? Why have we not seen more of this? Like the continued quiet response makes me nervous.
Yeah, we'll see. Go ahead. Yeah.
Their advertisement should be, it's like, our news about our new console is as quiet as the console itself.
Oh shit.
Snap.
That's nice. Brian, what do you say, man?
I'm kind of like a weird full eye here. Firstly, I like the white design because I think that consoles, for the most part, I'm just tired of black consoles. I mean, they've been a thing since. When did time begin again?
Oh no!
Yeah, began in 1937.
The Dreamcast was white. The original PlayStation.
You get very few.
Super Nintendo was white.
You get very few non-black consoles, and it's just so weird. It's like, why? There's like a full color gamut. Okay, fine. You don't want to use like all the reds and blues. That's fine, but still, don't just use black all the time.
But you know why they do it? Because of the focus groups. Focus groups, people say they want it because usually they're
Brian's like, fuck the focus groups, man.
Yeah, but their entertainment systems are usually black. The cable box, the TV, the framing, everything. So they're like, they just don't want something to be an eyesore, a big white box in the corner or a yellow box.
Think about when the monolith came into the apes. It was black.
Why are people listening to the voices of idiots anyway? I don't understand.
Yeah, they pay you $75 at Focus Group. You should go to one. It's fun.
Yeah, bro, you can have white consoles, bro.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm in the fence of like, cool. We actually get like a white console at launch. Again, my PS4, I waited until the white one came out because I thought it looked nicer. The black one just looked weird. I didn't like the whole like gloss one side, matte the other side. It's like, no. At least in white, it doesn't look that way, so it's fine.
Do you have yours flat or
flat?
Flat.
Nice and flat, nice and stable. So I don't mind the white design. I think that's pretty cool. However, the thing that I absolutely do not like are the weird collars that the thing has at the top. Those things are the definition of useless. Like, what the hell do they do? They don't serve any function or anything. They're just there to stick out.
The collars.
The collars. That's what they are. The collars. You know.
I thought you were talking about the colors.
Wait, wait. I'm hold on. Somebody snacking in the background.
Yeah,
no.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Am I missing something? Colors? I'm like, it's just black and white.
Collars.
Collars. Okay. Yeah. The Batman ears. Yeah, I don't like those either.
Well, it looks like, from some of the imagery, it looks like you could just remove that shit off. So maybe you could just pull the idiot part of the damn console off.
The white part. Yeah, I'll get rid of that shit. Yeah, no, Brian, I'm with you. That shit is stupid. The Batman ears. That's what I call them.
It's dumb, and plus I don't like how it's not flat on any side and how you need a stand. I don't see why you need a stand for a console. The whole point of the console is that it's just there by itself. You shouldn't need a stand for the console. The console should just be there. Like, consoles have always just been there for the most part. No need for stands unless they're vertical or something. It just makes no sense. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that, and I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? And the thing is stupidly large. Again, I face mostly the same problem as you guys do, but mine slightly less. As I'll just hide mine behind my TV, so I'm not too fussed.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
But still, it's just fucking big for no reason. It's like, ugh.
Brian, I'm telling you, I think they just have an entire graphics card in that shit. That's why it's so big, you know?
Maybe they do. But yeah, so I'm kind of like in the weird sense of like, I don't mind the colors, I just mind the design more. But in terms of, has it changed how I feel? Like, nope. It won't change how I feel because all the problems are based on the size rather than its dial. So yeah, it's size. Yeah, size.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's the biggest.
The size is ridiculous.
Yeah, size is the biggest thing. Yeah, for me, the color is not a big deal. I mean, you have white consoles before, but it doesn't bug me. And to be honest, again, it's going to be hiding behind my fucking TV.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, the color's not an issue, but what about the color?
The collar,
but was it like the other thing that they showed on that too was also the controller bits, where then now it the little light on the thing is on the front of it and it's not as bright, and I think you can turn it off. So that's cool.
Just one quick thing. Tank says you would think the digital version would be much smaller. No, because it still has the same graphics card in there. I still believe it's like full graphics card in there. You know.
Well, it is technically smaller in a way. It's
it just doesn't have the
disk drive. Yeah.
But why make two ultimately different designs for the same thing?
Yeah, it should have just done the Xbox route, right? Like have two kind of.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that would have been better, actually. Like if you had two different looking consoles and stuff.
I think the thing about it is that they probably designed it to be about that fan, right? So, or whatever is in there. So they probably, rather than just essentially having two different SKUs to manufacture, you just have pretty much the same guts. You just don't have the shell that has the bulge for the CD drive. I mean, for the Blu-ray drive.
Yeah. One quick thing, Piggy Dan says that he wants more. What was it? Subscriber rewards. Carlos, is that what I read?
We need more chat rewards for the stream. I have a ton of points I need to burn.
I'm gonna actually admit my ignorance. What does that mean?
Wait, what does he say? What points?
He wants chat rewards on the.
Okay, what's a chat reward? I honestly don't know what a chat reward is.
Essentially, what you can do is, if you've watched the show a certain amount, a length of time, you get little numbers. Every single Twitch channel has it, and you can spend them on specific things within the thing. So he can get the right now. All the thing he can get is the Torrance Davis thing, which he probably already has.
Yeah, he probably has Torrance.
Yeah. So, but the thing is that now there's still, I don't know what else other things we can put on there, but we'll look into that.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you for bringing it up. We're looking at hold on. Innate says, hold on. Yeah, someone have hydrate and the streamer takes a drink of water. Well, we're not going to be doing dumb shit, if that's what you mean.
No, we're not fucking
yeah, we're not monkeys for you guys. Fuck that shit, But we'll think of something,
We're not going to turn tricks and start showing our legs.
Yeah, no, we don't. Yeah, we don't rock like that,
We might sell bathwater though.
Adam's bathwater, That's some Jesus water right there. So his beard gets long enough,
I'll dip it in.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like drink some of Adam's beard water right here on Throwdown. Okay, yeah. You know what? Thank you for bringing it up. We'll look into that. We just not gonna do anything stupid to make ourselves look dumb. We're not that type of streamer. You go check out Dr. Disrespect or something for that shit. Yeah, go hang out in the fucking handicap bathroom stall and do some dumb shit. That, by the way, that's the bathroom stall I always use at E3. Imagine if I was there, you were like, yo, motherfucker, get out! You gotta take a piss, man. I would have beat his ass.
You were at that. You were at that E3.
No, he did it when I was not at that E3. 2019 is when he did that shit. Yeah, I didn't go to that E3.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I would have knocked that motherfucking door down, bro. Like, yo, let me in, motherfucker.
I guess he could do that since there was not a lot of people there anyway.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Hey, that's true. Nobody was there, man. You were there. Like, what the fuck? Where the hell is everybody?
Actually, it wasn't that bad on the first few days, but toward the end, it got crazy. It emptied. Last day, it was empty inside of there.
Yeah, 1,000 points. Play a gotta redeem something recording by Adam. Gotta redeem something. 500 points. Truth bombs by Brett for 1 minute. He does that every show. What are you talking about, man? You guys, we're gonna think of some shit, man. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah, we gotta do something.
Gotta do something. Gotta have something. All right, 5,000 mic drop noise.
Can you do sound bites on this? If you
probably, I mean, I got OBS. I could do some shit like that.
So I have a question for the chat.
You do. Oh, you do have a soundboard, Tony.
Yeah,
you can put a soundboard.
Everybody on a soundboard.
Yeah. All right, yeah. You know what? We'll talk about this shit off air. We still got a show to do, and we only did one question so far.
What show?
Yeah. What is this, man? We're here talking about points, baby. All right. Next up we have Villa Kyle. Yeah, Villa Kyle. All right. Do you suggest day one adoption of the new consoles, or is it better to wait 6 to 12 months until newer models release in case of issues like Samsung's exploding phones? No, the issue you're facing is there's no games to play for the first year or two.
Yeah. Who cares about the if they're gonna explode? We're like, you have anything to play?
Yeah.
I mean, other than a bunch of old games.
Yeah. Basically, because somebody's gonna say something. What do you have to play that's completely new to a next gen system that isn't available on what you own? I think I could only name one game, fucking Godfall. That's like the only one I know. Demon Souls, I don't know about that. We'll see about that. Yeah, I don't trust Sony anymore, after the shit they pulled,
I told my wife that I'm getting this. I was like, oh, by the way, I ordered this. She was like, all right. She was like, so what game is it that you're playing? What's the big one for it? And fucking crickets. Because I'm like, yeah, shit. Because I remember I told you Call of Duty, but Call of Duty's on PS4 also. So it's like there's really nothing exclusive. I was like, it's not about now. It's about the future.
You had to pull that because there's nothing right now,
There's nothing.
Yeah, so my thing is like, don't worry about consoles, like fucking up on you hardware wise. Worry about having no games to play. That's the problem,
Well, I mean, you'll have games to play, but it'll just be games that you could pretty much play on your other consoles.
Yeah. Wait, 10,000 points. He eats a donut. I'll eat a donut for 10,000 points. That's not embarrassing. I like donuts.
I like a donut for nothing.
Yeah.
Then they'll record and put in slow mo and put like some sexy.
Oh, see now I'm talking about things that you can earn actually on the actual show, like through Twitter. Now we're talking about doing little tricks.
Yeah, no, we're not doing tricks though. It'll be like 10,000 points and you get a controller or some shit from us. Something real. But again, we could discuss that off here. I don't think we have anything more to add to this question, to be honest. Like, you could wait, bro. You could wait. There's no reason to get these consoles right now.
I would say wait, unless I mean like, or you could just be like Chris, who's like, yeah, I really want to play. I just wanted to replace my current PlayStation 4 or my Xbox.
Yeah,
I could definitely see people going in for that, but it seems like just buying a PlayStation Pro or an Xbox One X. I said that one right?
Xbox Series X, Series X.
No, an Xbox. No, I said a PlayStation Pro or Xbox One X. Yes, I did say it right.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing any fucking drifts or wheelies for you guys. Get out of here with that shit. Oh man! Again, none of us are doing any tricks, guys. We're not doing any tricks. We don't do that shit. You go see Dr. Disrespect or any of those other clowns. We don't do that around here.
Clowns.
What was the one I remember someone doing? It was like to eat hot sauce or some shit.
Yeah, no, we don't do that on Throwdown, man.
Come on, man.
All right, moving on here. Where are we right now? Okay. Oh, also, Villa Kyle. I was listening to Gamertag Radio, and Paris mentioned that Xbox's competition is not Sony, but Amazon and Google, with Luna and Stadia. Both of these companies have the financial power. Sony does not. What happens if they purchase Ubisoft and other big publishers, locking PlayStation and Xbox out of exclusives? Then they're shit out of luck. That's what happens with those other ones. They could do it. They could.
The big ones can. Google definitely can.
Well, all three of them.
Google, all three of them can.
But the thing is, again, it's like Google is going to make this investment, right? And then, I mean, to be honest, it's like I don't see anything about their service that makes it anything unique. It's just it seems like the same. It's the same like the same sort of thing as Amazon was doing. It's just dipping their toe in. They're not doing it. And in fact, if they continue to just not do anything with it, what it's going to happen to it? It's just going to fall to the wayside, like a lot of the bullshit that they make. Right?
Yeah, but by the way, I seriously
own Ubisoft.
Yeah, I seriously doubt Ubisoft. Remember, this company still has to agree to it. They can't just buy them out. I highly doubt Ubisoft is going to be attached to Stadia. It ain't happening. The only
one I can see going is EA because of all the shit that they've had, issues with games coming out and not performing well. So I could see somebody coming in with a big amount of money and say, all right, let's buy all this shit.
Yeah,
I would say I would say a lot of times when some of those companies come along, I notice that I feel like Ubisoft is probably too big to be picked up. I can see a smaller sort of AAA company, that creates games being more of an idea of them picking them up. But I mean, to be honest, Google is I don't know. I would say. I mean, I would have put out Ninja Theory as one of them, but they're already taken.
Yeah, they're indie though. They're not AAA.
Yeah. Well, no, they did create AAA games.
They did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, because you specifically. Yeah. These guys are just coming up with fucking.
I don't think it's. I don't think if they were out to buy something, it'd probably be like something like an EA. I don't know if they could even afford an EA, but maybe they can. Who knows?
Google and Amazon can.
But again, these companies have to agree to it. They can't just be bought out like that, And again, Amazon, Stadia, we already see that shit's pretty much failing, and then Amazon, who the fuck knows,
Yeah, what's Amazon going to do? I mean, to be honest, they haven't shown anything that seems worthwhile. But again, it's them. All they're doing is just putting it there at the occasion that you might click on, that Joe Schmo, regular man would probably just click on it because it's there. They're not really looking for gamers, either of those two.
I have to say, I was really surprised that Apple fell off the way they did, because when they announced their arcade and all these other plans that they were going to have games work on their Apple TV, and so we're like, oh, they're definitely going to buy one of these studios, right, just to develop games for them. Never happened. I thought they were going to make their own proprietary Apple-type controller or whatever. It had a little Apple logo. A bunch of fanboys would buy it just for the damn glowy Apple logo on a controller. That didn't happen either. So I'm really surprised because they got money for days. They could easily just jump into this game if they wanted to.
I don't think that they want to invest that much into it.
Yeah. I mean,
I think they just want to put it, like, if anything, they just like the way Google and Google and Amazon are doing. They just want it to be there on the occasion that you decide to click on it. But then again, you look at Amazon, look at Google service. You got to pay them so that you can buy games on their thing. No, that's stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb. All right, so let's move on here. Next question. It is this one's kind of funny. Yeah, John Christ, what's going on? He's joining us in the chat right now.
What's up, John?
So shout out to him. He condensed his question to a nice length. So appreciate that. All right. There's a ton of misinformation about the PS5's SSD being the console's savior or secret sauce that will make the console make or break the competition. Why do you feel there's such a disconnect between actual technical expertise by engineers and platform fans choosing to believe a narrative they themselves made up? Because that's how it usually goes, man. You know, fuck what the experts say. I want to believe this, so that's what I'm believing. You know, that's how these guys usually work. You know, these fucking like the Xbox guys are always talking about the teraflops. Listen, like guys, teraflops is not the only measure of consoles. There's a lot more to go into there. No, it's all about teraflops. It's all about teraflops. You know. So, yeah,
it's consoles have different dimensions in which they can, showcase whatever the power and performance they do. It's like GPUs, CPUs, memory, the SSDs are part of it now. There's something that's, that are taken into account that could potentially help performance of games, and provide you different types of experiences. But it's not the be all end all. It's not gonna carry everything. If you have bottlenecks somewhere else, it's definitely gonna show. So, yeah, the SSD. For me, the SSD has always been something that's that's pretty neat, especially because Sony, what they're doing is they're doing something that's ahead of everything, pretty much. They're doing something that really hasn't been implemented in a retail system or PC build. Like their bandwidth on their SSDs is crazy. It's like 5.5 gigabytes per second. So yeah, it's something that can move gaming forward, but it's not gonna be something that's gonna make the PlayStation 5 just utterly destroy whatever the capabilities of the Xbox Series X is. It can only do so much, is essentially what I'm trying to say.
Yep. What about the rest of you guys, the tech guys specifically? Actually, Brian, get in here so you could talk shit about console gamers.
They're whack.
They're rubbish.
Sorry, I was eating.
Hope it wasn't a donut.
No, breakfast time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think people just latch on to whatever is the marketing thing that people say. Whenever there's some sort of presentation and then the person mentions something that they're proud about. So, for example, you have Mark Sony with SSD, you have the whole teraflops situation. People just cling to that as that's the idea, that's the thing that will push things forward. And that will be the game changer going forward. So I think people just latch onto that because I've seen some people talk about some really odd things out there that's been really, really funny. Excuse me. I remember last gen, someone left a comment on a video, and he was talking all this about how this is back when the PS4 had GDDR6 memory, right? And they were just going crazy. It's like, oh gosh, it has like GDDR6 memory.
I'm supposed to say, isn't it 5?
Oh, GDDR5.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were saying that it has like GDDR5 memory, and they were going crazy about that. It's like, the PS4 has more GDDR5 memory than like this graphics card from Intel, hence it's better. And I'm like, that's not how that works, my friend. Like, you can't equate the two because it makes no sense. Like, and plus, you need to consider the fact that memory is shared amongst the graphics memory and system memory. So hence, you won't get all that memory anyway. So just stop. So yeah, so people just cling on to these ideas and then they use that as like a platform going forward as if like that's the saving grace and that's the thing to hold on to. And it's quite funny to watch because then it shows people just how illiterate they are regarding tech they are. The other one I've seen recently is all these people that are surprised that when you get a 1 terabyte device, you don't get access to all the 1 terabyte space. It's like,
they don't know about
yes,
formatting.
that's what happens. Like, have you bought a laptop recently? Have you bought a smartphone recently?
Have you bought any computer at any point in your life?
Because any hard drive, any flash drive, you don't get the full amount. That's just the way it is.
Have you bought anything with a CPU in the last 10 years? Like, this is what happens. Like, why are you surprised by this? So yeah, it's quite funny. Like, again, did the same thing with the PlayStation. It's like, oh, it only has 664 gigabytes of usable space. It's like, yes. Why are you surprised by that?
Yeah, exactly.
This is how tech works. I mean, come on. Like, yeah, so I think just people that don't know exactly how things work with each other, and they don't understand how the things work in the grander scheme, that they just take it and just use it as like the hammer to hit everything. Like, oh, it doesn't matter what thing you say is bad about it. I'll hit you with this hammer off the thing, and everything goes away now.
Yeah, right. Yo, I said this on last week's episode. I was watching the Console War documentary on CBS, right? That's based off the book. And these kids were talking about blast processing the way old men talk about teraflops and shit now. It's hilarious. Like, it hasn't changed. I'm pretty sure those old guys were those kids back in the day talking all that shit, you know? It's nothing changes, man. John also said, he goes as a follow-up, how do we as content creators break that narrative, or do we? Here, listen, you could lead, it's an old saying, right? You could lead a horse to water, but if the fucking horse isn't thirsty, you can't make him drink, So you got to just get the word, we do what we can on Throwdown when it comes to this type of shit. Maybe one or two people are gonna, actually be like, oh shit, they're right, I didn't see that way. But most people, they're gonna go with their narrative. Facts don't fucking matter. It's all about feelings now,
Yeah, let's be real. Even if they believe in this shit or not, it sells. So whoever the content creator is, if they can run on 12 teraflops or SSDs, they'll run on that because they know that's gonna fuel the fan base and fuel their contingency of people who watch their shows, and that sort of chaos brings hits and views. So it doesn't incentivize people to come up with the truth sometimes.
Yeah. Hold on, piggy down real quick. He goes, are you Twitch affiliates? We've been Twitch affiliates for like a year now, bro. We've been Twitch affiliates for a lot. We're not partnered yet, but we have been affiliates like forever, That's why we're able to make you all those little graphics and torrents, torrents and Bowser and shit. We could do one more. I think we could do one more because we're limited in that since we're not partnered yet, Yeah, we could do one more emote, I believe. So we'll get you something. But yeah, no, Carlos, I didn't think about it. You're talking about the other end of it. It's like content creators are like, hey, this shit is making the console wars pop. I'm gonna do this on my headlines and get some more hits. I didn't think about that, but you're right. But he's more talking about like how can we try to like dispel some of this nonsense. But it's hard not only because of other content creators fueling on this, but let's just be honest here. The companies themselves are using this shit. Think about Xbox, 12 teraflops, right? Like a big fucking dick, like plop, like right in your face, So even the companies do this shit, and which fuels the fire, So you could do your best, but you're not gonna get rid of it when you have like people using it to like push a narrative. So just how it is, man. Yeah.
And we've talked about this. I don't know if we talked about this during the show, but Microsoft is doing some genius marketing by getting their consoles into a lot of influencers.
Yep.
A lot of influencers. And those people, they're not gaming journalists. They're not, they're not Digital Foundry. They're not going to dissect this thing. They're going to get whatever pamphlet Microsoft sends them and just regurgitate it and show the console because they know it gets the hits, and they're not going to talk shit about it because they know they don't want to,
It's a gift. It's number one. They're not going to talk any shit about it because it's a gift, and most of the time they don't take that much of a thing, go that sort of deep into it. So yeah, and then not to mention, when it comes to influencers, you guys out there are more inclined to believe an influencer rather than a larger gaming journalist.
Yes, that's just a fact.
there's a sort of different rapport when it comes to influencers.
Which is weird because the influencer is the last person you should really.
Yeah, let's just be real here. That's the last people you should listen to.
Exactly.
You know.
Well, I mean, because it's more connected to an individual and it's a fan base.
It's trickery. It's trickery.
But
they come off. Yo, I'm your boy. I'm your friend. We're cool. Look, you see me, right? You see me now. Buy this shit. Buy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean that there's also that side of it too. But I mean, again, you have the possibility on one side where you can have a gaming journalist who could probably be getting a check from a big company to pump up do a puff piece on their thing, which is there's that, or you can have essentially a bunch of people who are just getting a gift from a big company, and they're being what they are is essentially just essentially free advertising. What that means is that anytime you see anybody kind of dancing around with a console, it's essentially just free advertising for the company. It's much cheaper to do it that way, and you're a willing participant to watch one of those things because you trust those guys.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Manny, they're your friends.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, there's that thing when it comes to fan bases compared to actual game at least game sites the way they exist currently. They used to do that where they used to kind of create a sort of community and stuff behind next to their stuff, but now they're sort of disembodied voices. That's where the influencers are, where they have these sort of fan bases where they can show you something. Hey, look, I got this. And that can also influence you to be, hey, I like this guy's content. You know what? I think I'll get that thing too. Mm-hmm. It's better than paying thousands of dollars of doing a CGI trailer that nobody will pay attention to, or CGI commercial with a bunch of flashing shit all over it. When you can literally just give it to somebody, they show it to you, and they tell you they played it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. Let's move on. Next question. All right. Do you recall, also from John, do you recall any multi-plat games that use the DualShock 4's features? Do you think multi-plat games will use features like adaptive triggers on PS5? I like this question because let's just be real. After like the first year or so of, the PS4, people stopped using that fucking thing. Only game I could think of I'm pretty sure the only one I could think of that was multi-plat. He's not talking about first party. He's talking about multi-plat that used the DualShock, everything was GTA 4. You could actually like reload the game, like moving the if you move the. By the way, this is a wrong motion I'm using right now, but if you shake the controller, right, you could reload your gun and shit. You could do some swipes and stuff.
Yeah. So there's is it the Resident Evil games where your flashlight is like about to run out and you shake it?
I believe so. I think I know there's a game where you
shake a. Oh, I was just playing one.
Hold on, I know The Last of Us is, but that doesn't count for this question.
Yeah, because all the first party stuff uses the
first party uses it, obviously.
Well, I played that WWE Battlegrounds. That's a new one that came out, and it used the mic on the controller. So whenever I would select a character, it would scream out, "Bill, go!"
Well, a lot of games do that, though.
Yeah,
a lot of games do that.
Yeah, because both consoles have that. Wait, does the Xbox have a speaker inside of it?
No,
I don't think so.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, but I mean, it's not that much.
A lot of third parties do that.
Yeah, a lot of third parties do the little mic because the microphone's in the controller, and not the mic, but the speakers in the controller, and they use that little thing to make noises.
Yeah. Phantom Pain did use some features as well.
Yeah, it did. You could move the map with it. And you could do all kinds of other stuff with it, but it didn't really.
You could do some iDroid stuff with it, couldn't you? If I remember correct, what I remember from it, like the touchpad had different, like depending on where you touched it, it would bring up something different from like the menu and your iDroid and stuff. If you touched it on like the top right, it would be one thing, and the bottom right would be something else. Like basically all four corners did something different.
There's a couple of games that have done that where because now there's not as many, to go to different things. I forgot there was a couple other games that used it for swiping. Most games just use the damn thing for maps.
Yeah, what it really is in most games is a giant select button. That's all it really is. It's a giant select button, but yeah, very few third-party games. And then, and this is something Brian talks about a lot. He says that after the first year, people are probably not going to use the DualSense things at all, like the adaptive triggers and all that shit.
Well, I don't know about I think that because doesn't Microsoft have something very similar to
Yeah, they do. They have their own version of it.
So they're probably going to use that because
that's true. Universal. Because both of them have it. Yeah. Okay, so you know what? I can see that.
I'm trying to think of... if you run out of if your gun jams, maybe the controller gets a little the thing gets a little more rigid. Who knows? They could probably.
I'm trying to think of a gimmick that actually stuck around, like one of these. So besides the Rumble, what else has stuck around?
The speaker's another one, Adam. That stuck around.
But the Xbox doesn't have it.
That's Xbox. Though you're right. Yeah.
Normal. It's the one thing about the speakers. It's a really easy thing to implement. Because all it does is just repeat whatever certain sounds that they do on there. It doesn't need that much to it, so that's why you notice a lot of third-party games still use it. Like Tomb Raider, like a couple of games use the ability to change the light color whenever you do certain things. Like in Tomb Raider, they gave the ability to, like, when you have a torch in your hand, the light on the front of it looks like fire. Like it blinks from red to red and orange.
Nice, because in GTA 5, Manny's favorite game, when you're wanted, it flashes red and blue.
Oh, nice. So there you go. That's another feature, I guess.
Yeah, those little things, I think, are the things that end up being, little flourishes like that are fine, but I don't think anything any drastic motion control stuff that they got, like any of the moving the controller around and stuff like that is probably gonna
like work. You saw in the video where these guys were blowing on their controllers and stuff. You know,
blowing on the controllers. That's stuff. I mean, not even fucking Switch does that shit, because Switch can do that stuff too.
Yeah, they can.
Remember the ice game where you can hear the ice inside of the controller?
Yeah.
How many games are using that thing?
Yeah, exactly. Gyroscope. Go ahead, Brian. You gonna say something?
I just had a thought that just came to me like right now. Third-party controllers. How are they going to work on the PS5? Like, are they going to have all the same features that the DualSense does, or not?
They probably will. I mean, third-party controllers now have to have the same features as the DualShock 4.
Yeah.
Even the touchpad?
Yeah.
Not everything.
Not all of them, but the ones I've gotten at least are third-party. They all have the touchpad too.
With the Scud ones, right? What are they called?
Scuff. Yeah, Scuff have them.
Scuff.
Yeah. The Astro A40, right? That has it. The touchpad.
That's going to be interesting to see. Like, how are third-party controllers like going to work? Like, what are they going to have in terms of features? Are they going to have the same set? Are they going to have missing sets? Again, I generally have no idea. It just came to me like right now.
They usually have a programmable button. They have the same buttons, and then
usually they have to have the same basic functions, because otherwise it kind of defeats the purpose.
They won't get that certification, that seal of approval from Microsoft or PlayStation. So, this works. We recommend this.
I do like the fact that the lights are in front of the controller now, because like I never see the lights because it's always on the bottom of the controller from my perception, because I'm holding the controller like that. It's facing this way, I never see that shit.
Weird, I mean, for the most part, that was probably used because of the for the
Move.
The PlayStation Move, which brings me to another thing.
Oh,
does that mean that the new controllers? How is the PlayStation VR going to sense the new controller?
I don't know.
If they're continuing PlayStation VR or going into the PlayStation 5, what are they doing?
Are they going to use like PS3 controllers effectively? That's what Move controllers are, the PS3 controllers. Yeah. I don't know.
So, like, what are they? Yeah, like they haven't talked about any of that stuff. But yeah, how are they going to do any of that sort of stuff? Or is that crazy DualSense have something else in there? Essentially, those sorts of gyroscopes, or it releases something that the new camera can sense, because they got a new camera that just can't. That's they're also releasing too.
Yeah, that's right. Will that new camera work with the VR?
Yeah,
we don't know. Maybe we'll do a PSVR 2, the Revenge. I don't know.
I think that's what they're doing.
I think so.
I think they're going to. I think they're going to clone the Oculus, the new Oculus that doesn't need any sort of what are those? Any sort of light things to kind of sense it.
Yeah.
I hope I can turn the lights off. Like
that'd be nice. Yeah.
I don't want if I'm.
The thing is, the lights are very subtle this time.
I hope.
Yeah,
so.
the lights aren't super.
I mean,
bright
if you
this
see
time.
the DualSense, lights are just very subtle. It's like a line around the touchpad. It's not that bad. It's not intrusive, because obviously
that's flashing. I'm just thinking if they like what we talked about with GTA with when you're wanted, they're flashing. If you're playing something, it's going to start flashing colors or some shit or go in a circle, ring of light or whatever. Some little gimmicky thing.
Yeah,
I don't want that. Distract me.
Yeah. You can turn it off. All right. Hopefully you can turn it off. We don't know. We'll have to see about that. All right. Moving on here. Annihilator. First question. Could someone explain why they went with 4th generation SSDs in the new consoles? I get faster load times, but that could be achieved with other SSDs on the market. It would have helped keep the cost down. All right, this is another one for the tech guys. Why did they go with 4th? Yeah, go ahead.
It's cheaper, man.
Well, he says that they could have went with cheaper ones.
Yeah, he's asking why didn't they go for cheaper SSDs instead of the super high priced ones?
My guess is they just wanted to future-proof the whole thing. Like they wanted so that.
There's also that.
Again, like that was like the big complaint. Well, one of the complaints about the last gen consoles that they came on the scene and they were underpowered. So I think this gen they tried to go for, okay, let's make sure that there's no bottleneck on anywhere. And plus, we all seen how slow the drives are. Like the drives are really bad. So they could have just stuck on any type of SSD, and it would have been better anyway. But then I think they said, okay, let's try and go for as fast as we can, given this ballpark price range that we're aiming for. And I think that's what they went for. And again, Gen 4 seems to be what Sony considers to be like a good price point to hit, which is, again, let's see how things work out like 5 years from now. Like, is all that Gen 4 speed going to be used? We don't know yet. Let's find out. Again, Microsoft may have been on the right idea where they said, okay, let's go with Gen 3 type speeds and call it a day. But then again, Sony could have been on the right idea when they said, okay, let's go for Gen 4 speeds. And that way, it's like twice as fast. So, again, it's too early to tell, but my guess is just they wanted to be future-proofing. And that's why they went with all this stuff.
Well, that's probably the only thing they could really future-proof, because essentially everything else is already almost outdated right now, right?
Pretty much so. Well, okay, not outdated as such, but it's current technology, and so it's not future tech just yet. Like even the GPU, like it's on the same level as like GTX 1080. So like that's a card that was out like 3 years ago now. So again, it's still a powerful card, but that's the level that it's at. So again, with stuff like that, you're always going to get that type of letdown. But in terms of like speed and RAM, SSD and memory, like generally they haven't been moving that fast recently. So maybe they went with, okay, since that this type of tech is not moving as fast, let's go for as fast as we can, so that when it does get outdated, it'll still be in date, if that makes sense. Like it takes longer to be outdated, so maybe that's a smarter move. I don't know. Let's get Mark Cerny on the show and interview him. I think that
would be interesting.
Yeah.
Get him to clear things up, right?
and yes, if we do get him on board, I promise you, I'll ask him about his shirts.
Yes, the immaculate shirts. The man dresses very well. All right, man. Let's move on. We are up to what's up?
Expensive nerdy.
Yeah,
that's his look.
Yeah. All right, another one from Mr. Annihilator. All right, do you think Xbox will stick with the series in the future, quote unquote series in the future? Will we see a Series X2, X3? Those are X-Men movies in generations to come. And will they brand the Series X as the most powerful Xbox in future generations? I think they're probably going to. Here's the thing. I think you're going to stick with the series for this generation at least, Not next gen, if they even have a next gen, before they decide, fuck it, Xbox app on everything, So yeah, for this generation, at least we're gonna get series whatever, because they're gonna release another console that's like a more powerful version down the line, probably 3 years from now. Xbox XX, I don't know.
That's Phil Spencer's stick with the whole thing, is that he wants to make sure that Xbox is always going to be labeled as the most powerful console in the market. They never want to be fall behind on that. But I think it all depends on the success of Game Pass and how that takes off. And if it does take off on multiple platforms, and if they could get on Apple and they see that growth, then they're like, hey, we're making it. We don't really have to focus on the console now. Now we're everywhere. So we'll see. It's one of those wait and see moments, and I'm sure that's what they're doing. They're trying to see if this really takes off on multiple platforms, not just on Xbox platforms.
Yeah. But yeah, they're going to stick with the series moniker, at least for this generation, you know. I don't think we have anything more to add to that. So we'll move on. Okay, we got a couple questions here, but these are kind of been repeat questions, but I just want to give these guys acknowledgement, just for the hell of it. Especially Dio, one of our biggest fans, you know. He was just asked, not Ronnie James Dio though.
It's our Dio, Twitter Dio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
It's good. Real quick, because I thought I replied to Dio a few days ago, and then I saw that I never clicked the send button, and it had to do with Shawn Michaels, and I wondered if he saw the Bret Hart documentary, Wrestling with Shadows, because he didn't see that other one that you talked about. So it makes me wonder if he watches anything. That's all.
All right. Yeah. Illustrated Dio. So his question is just, what features do we want to see next gen? But we've answered that before. Berserker Guts, who's another kind of newish guy, he wanted to know if we have ever played import games. We've answered that in the past as well. You know, yes, we have. Yeah. We basically told all our experiences buying import games back in the day, you know. And Damien, he actually has 3 questions, but one of these we already answered before. So, but this is the one, he just asked, are Sony or Microsoft going to delay their system? No, they're not. Nobody's delaying nothing now, bro. You know? Yeah. So we'll move on to his first actual question, which is, Microsoft is very confident in sending Xboxes to the media. This is a complete reversal of 2013. What is going on with Sony? Is depriving their customers of information and marketing strategy, or is something genuinely wrong with the PlayStation 5? Brett, this is what you were believing, right? There's something wrong with the system. That's why they're withholding information.
Not that something's wrong with the system. They don't really seem to have a plan other than riding their own coattails, and that's really what concerns me, is getting complacent and lazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead.
It's under new management, right? That's what
Jim Ryan.
And that's it. New management have a new approach toward things, and they're like, you know what? We already have the market. We're dominating. We've sold all these units. Why do we need to do all that kiss ass stuff now? We don't. They're already with us.
And the problem is, Adam, they're being rewarded for that. Every single time they come out with something, people are hyped as fuck, no matter what,
And that's proving his point right there. That's proving it. So when they're like, Microsoft's doing all this stuff, should we be doing that? And then he's like, drop the logo. Just give him the PS5 logo. It blows up. See, there you go. Now I'm going to go play some golf. I'll talk to you later.
Go play golf.
I'm going to go play some cricket right now.
Play some cricket
because he's British.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't think there's anything wrong with the PlayStation 5 per se, but they definitely have a problem when it comes to games. It's like, bro, they ain't got nothing.
Was that a rumor or was it confirmed? Remember a while ago for that Resident Evil, it's like a developer saying they were having trouble getting it to run properly on the PS5.
Capcom, yeah.
Capcom.
No, they said they're having. I know what you're talking about. Where they basically were saying that it runs better on the Xbox Series X. Yeah.
Because they were having. Was that a legit or was that just?
Oh, I have no idea. If you guys said in the chat, so I don't want to confirm that. I'm not trying to confirm that. So
that's the only thing I could think of. I really hope we don't see something like that. What we saw with the PS3, because a lot of people still say oh well, Microsoft.
They're saying fake news. They're saying fake news. All right, there you go.
Fake news, hopefully.
Dust Golden, take his stuff with a grain of salt. Thank you for telling me that. Who said that? I can't read this. DJ Chan, what's going on, brother? Beef Crepe. Oh, I like that name. Or Beef Crepe. The RE stuff was from Dust Golden. Yeah, Crepe. The Crepes of Wrath. Kishak, he says I was fake. Again, that's why I was like, I don't want to confirm that, bro.
It came up and it disappeared. So I was like, it's probably bullshit.
Yeah. But what was real was Capcom originally said that they were having a problem getting it to run on older consoles, right? But more recently they said they're trying their best. They're trying their best to get it on the older systems. I just say Capcom, don't fucking bother, man.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to
maximize, obviously.
Maximize their investment.
Yeah, because they're trying to get if you take Xbox and PlayStation fan bases all together, it's like 160 million plus people. So I understand that that's a big fan base, but again, I'm just speaking personal right now. Fuck all that cross-gen shit, man.
But you see that they're, especially Capcom, they've been putting all their older games on Switch.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're trying to figure out a way to get at least Resident Evil 7 to run on it. Like shit, if we could double dip on
that'd be crazy, yeah.
That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna go with Adam here. They got new management. This guy thinks, fuck it, what the hell do we need to do anything for? We're Sony. We're at the top. But like Brett's always talking about, that sounds like the old Sony. We're not at that level yet. We're like get 2 fucking jobs. We're not there, but we're getting very close. I'm not feeling it.
I mean, it's interesting because you notice that the head team of PlayStation right now is all European people.
Yeah.
People. But the last generation of guys were from the West.
British or UK is West.
From the United States.
Yeah, a lot of them because our boy Andrew House, he was English too.
Oh yeah, he was British.
Oh, by the way, a couple weeks ago, I was asking who was that blonde guy? That blonde guy who worked at PlayStation. That did PlayStation. That everybody blanked out. It's Jack Tretton. It was Jack Tretton. I was thinking about.
Ah, yes, Jack Tretton.
He was a good guy too. We had him on stage. He was a good, guy you could chill with and stuff. All those, think about it. I keep harping on this, point because it's so true, right? And you guys help me out if I miss anybody, right? So we had Sean Layton, we had Jack Trenton, we had Andrew House, we had Adam Boyes, we had Gio Corsi, we had, Shu when he was in a bigger position. You had all these guys that were very affable people, right? As a matter of fact, PSX, PlayStation Experience, that was Adam Boyes' whole deal. He was like, hey, listen, let's do a show for the fans. And guys, I'm telling you right now, because I went to PSX twice, right? All those guys that I just named, they all walked around the show floor like nothing. Like they were there talking to the fans. That Sony's gone now. That Sony is long gone. Doesn't exist anymore. That was the era of Ryan, Jim Ryan. And I don't know, man. Here's the thing. Yes, like on the outside, like if you're looking at it as an investor, like, oh, Sony's doing great. We're making all this money and shit. We're getting all this public attention. But like from a gamer standpoint, it's like, yo, Sony, what are you doing, man? What's up, Adam?
Just wondering, was that before or after the big crash that the PS3 had? Remember when they got hacked?
No, we're talking about PS4, Adam. We're talking about PS4 right now.
We're not talking before, like the change. I mean, when they started making that change, because we know they.
Oh, the change happened about it was. I mean, it was afterwards, but I don't think the crash is what caused it. It was just the fact that PS3 was not doing well, But towards the end of the PS3 era, those guys were already in place, and obviously they rode it to the PS4 era,
And the thing is, during the PlayStation 3 era, they also switched out of management because remember, our good buddy who's now head of Stadia, what's his face again?
The other British dude.
Not Peter Moore, right?
Not Peter
Molyneux.
Moore.
No.
Yeah,
no, not Molyneux. I'm totally. He's essentially the death of all.
Motherfucker, Phil Harris. Thank you.
Phil Harris.
Thank you.
Harris.
Phil Harris. That dude. Anything he touches dies.
Harris. So
Phil Harrison. Yeah.
He was he was part of Sony, and then he sort of moved on. But if you notice that after he moved on, things sort of switched around.
Yeah. Phil Harrison. When we heard he was going to be running Stadia, I was like, ooh. Good luck with that, Google, and look how that's turning out. John, I know you love your Stadia, brother, but let's just be real here.
Either Phil Harrison has the misfortune of being at every place when they're doing fucking shit, or he's the curse.
He was in Sony during the early PS3 days, and then he went to Microsoft.
No, he went to he went to Atari. That shit fell apart. He went to Microsoft.
Yeah.
That was during the TV.
That's
time.
right. Yep.
So either tragedy follows this man, or he just has.
Or he causes it. Yeah.
Or he's misfortunate.
Or he's a final destination of the video game industry.
Yeah.
Yo, you know who he is? Who's that actor? He was on Married with Children. They said whatever show he goes on dies. He was also on Happy Days. You know what I'm talking about, the guy who married Marcy after Steve left. the blonde guy. Like every show he's on dies. So Phil Harrison is that guy, for video games.
Because I'm looking it up just to confirm. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing him showing off a Halo tattoo.
No, that's Peter Moore. That's Peter Moore.
That's Peter Moore.
Yeah.
All right, because I'm looking.
No, Peter
Moore's the man.
Peter Moore has the fortune of being actually a really innovating. Like essentially, he's
Dreamcast, baby.
He's part of the reason why the Dreamcast did so well. He was there during the big time at Xbox and EA. So
yeah.
Hold on, I got to get this guy's name right now, man. Ted McGinley. That's the guy I'm talking about. The guy I'm talking about from Happy Days and Married. He was also in Revenge of the Nerds. Remember that guy? He was the jock.
Yeah.
But obviously Revenge of the Nerds did good, but that's a whole other thing. What the fuck have we been talking about? I totally forgot.
He wasn't replacing anybody in Revenge.
No, he wasn't. He was just in the movie. Yeah, Ted McGinley, man. Oh yeah. So if he gets on your show. So that same thing with Phil Harrison, he gets on your system, you better watch out. All right, man. Before we move on, I'm going to give this code away. So this first come first serve for anybody's in the chat right now. This is a free code courtesy of Mr. John Christ, which is a 14-day Xbox Game Pass Ultimate code. So I'm going to throw it into the chat. First come first serve. Just let me know who got it, and let me know if it works. There you go. Good luck.
Have at you.
I release thee. Go.
Fight amongst yourselves.
All right, man. Let's move on to the next one. Do I have this shit set up? Oh, yes, I do. All right, let me get it here.
Chiron.
I remember Major Nelson. He was like, follow me, and I'm giving out codes. But he wouldn't say a time or a date, and then you would just see a tweet of, and those Xbox codes were ridiculous, like 16 character long.
Yeah.
And I could just imagine how many people were just scrambling trying to copy those codes to go and enter or have to manually type those shits in. Ugh.
Crazy. All right, man. Next question from Mr. Damien. If Starfield drops in 2021 as an Xbox/PC exclusive and Sony releases Horizon Forbidden West, which do you think will do better for the console it's on? Not selling more because of Game Pass, but because cost more people to buy the platform it's on. I don't know. It's a good question.
Starfield. Yeah, that's a big one because it's like there's that anticipation on both of them.
Yeah, I don't think Starfield's coming this next year. By the way, I highly doubt that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that one.
I feel like Bethesda needs a little bit more time in the to work on their new engine.
Here's the thing.
At least I want them to spend a maximum amount of time on that engine.
Yeah, right. Go ahead, Brett.
I don't know if Starfield by itself would do it, but you wrap it up with the other Bethesda titles, and between Elder Scrolls and Fallout and the other catalog of games they have, but most likely one of the other big mainline Elder Scrolls games, then it does have the chance to. I mean, honestly, that's why I'm like, okay, I want to play Bethesda games. There's like half their library is interesting to me, so buy an Xbox. So, yeah, I think it will cause people to not necessarily migrate over, because I don't think people. I think they're gonna adopt a second system. I don't know if they're necessarily just gonna move over, although they're expensive. I don't know, but the answer to your question is I think Starfield plus fill in the blank is enough to probably get people to buy an Xbox.
Yeah,
especially if you're a hardcore Elder Scrolls fan.
Yeah, and let's just be honest here, right? Horizon Forbidden West, that's not going to push PS5s, because you could buy that game on PS4. It's Achilles' heel. The fact that you don't need to buy a new system for it, play it on your shit right now. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
I just want to see the comparison videos when these games start coming out. Compared to a PS4 and a PS5, just to see.
Yeah.
If there's that big of a difference. If there's not that big of a difference, it's going to be hard for people to see a reason to jump and eventually pick up a PS5.
Well, here's something interesting. I've heard that it's a little bit harder to develop for the PS5. So they're running a lot of games on the Xbox and then porting over. which isn't a big deal with the x86 architecture, but those of us that remember them doing this before, whatever it is, the game they natively or the platform they natively design on tends to run better.
Yeah, but the thing is that the platform they natively designed for is PC.
That's why I said with the x86 architecture, I'm not sure that it matters.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think it doesn't anymore. That's out the window now. They're both. Let's just be honest. What consoles or Xbox and PlayStation are just dedicated little PCs. That's all they really are now.
Has word been going around that people are struggling with developing PlayStation games or PlayStation 5?
Well, that was a rumor.
It's been rumors, but yeah. So don't believe rumors,
Yo, man.
Well, if Sony would tell us anything else,
then we would fucking use
that. Well, they wouldn't release something like that in the media. Like, yes, the PlayStation 4 is incredibly difficult to develop for, and they usually develop it for the Xbox and then port it to it. They wouldn't say that shit. No, they wouldn't say that either.
And if people would be so hungry for scraps of information, they're starting fucking rumors.
Hey, right. There you go. By the way, Beef Crepe, I got you, brother. We'll actually answer your question next. But first, I want to get some comments here from Mr. Damien. These are outside of questions. He goes, outside. Oh, hold on. Got myself in here. I remember when the shakeup happened at Sony. Talking about when Jim Ryan came in. I asked you guys if you thought it would be problematic, and you all said no. Sony has a plan, and that's the new leadership had to just continue doing what Tony did before. Now we can see that's not the case. Damn, you got to remember, we based that off of what we knew at that point. You can't say, you guys were wrong because of what happened now. It's like, we didn't know at the time. We didn't have enough information. You kind of jumped the gun a little bit, assuming things were going to go wrong. You ended up being right, but that was just a lucky guess. Let's just be real here. We had no idea Jim Ryan was going to act like this.
You also thought there was a secret sauce, so.
Oh, shit. Yo. Good one, Brett. That's all we got to say about that. And then the last thing, just to show you guys that me and Damien, we get into our little scraps, but we're actually cool with each other, He goes, Tony, I know you and I don't always see eye to eye, but there are some lines that people shouldn't cross. I apologize for that bullshit that happened to you on Twitter. Some people need to understand that this shit is just games, and we still need to respect each other. For you guys who may not know, something interesting happened to your boy, right? So I took a picture with an Xbox Series X on Friday, right? Can't get into details about that until later, but I took a picture with an Xbox Series X. Got a lot of positive comments, but this one dude, and I still can't decide, like, obviously this guy's a coward, but part of me is like, yo, you're bold for saying that shit on Twitter. Like, look how many followers I got. You think motherfuckers want to come at your neck? So this guy goes, oh, you got an Xbox Series X, but at least I could walk. Who's the real winner? I was like, damn, that's kind of bold. I was like, this motherfucker's tired of bold. So Damien, you don't have to apologize for that fucking idiot. Let's just be real here, and I'm being honest right now. I'm living the life that motherfucker wishes he had.
Wait, is this someone we know?
No, it's just some guy with like some guy with 5 followers, bro. Yeah,
it was a throwaway.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
Yo, I got a lot of calls that day like, yo, Tony, if I ever find this, I'm gonna fuck him up. All this crazy shit. By the way, remind me to play you something after the show. Go ahead, Manny.
Number one, for that shit, that guy ain't shit.
Nothing.
Because Homeboy's anonymous. Homeboy's got like 2 followers. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, and the funny thing is 3 idiots like the tweet.
Oh.
Like, here's the thing.
Now you know who to block.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, a lot of people were saying, oh, Tony, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, to me, this no skin off my fucking back,
Yeah, come on, man. You gonna go cry in a corner because somebody said some stupid
dude, I've heard this. Trust me, I've gotten a lot worse in my life. That shit don't mean nothing. I'm just being honest. Part of me was like, yo, damn, that's kind of bold. You just said that shit, That's pretty wild. I'm like, again, it's like, you're bold. Like, yo, you see how many followers I got, bro? You think nobody was going to come at that ass? But here's the thing.
That ain't bold because he was entirely insulated with
he's a pussy. He's a pussy. Oh, and Brett, to make even more of a fact, right? The picture he used was somebody else's picture. It wasn't even his. Little bitch.
Which, honestly, man, like, that's kind of like a double dick move. Because when I saw the tweet, I was like, all right, dude's using a fake, like, he's using a fake account with a fake picture,
But dude, his like
he knew what he was saying was gonna be fucked.
Yo, and people were shitting on the guy's picture. I'm like, yo, chill, man.
Yeah, like it caused a feud where everybody started attacking the physical appearance of the dude in the picture, and the picture was stolen.
Yeah,
like it's just nothing but some anonymous fucker trying to turn people against each other for the sheer joy of watching it happen, which is the highest form of coward when you can't even show your face.
Did you see any of his previous tweets? Like maybe that was just his dummy account. He says fucked up shit to a lot of people.
No, I don't know. That guy has 5 followers. It's probably some dummy account. Hell, it might be somebody that follows me on another account talking shit. That happens a lot. You know,
who was it? That politician that talked about how he had a dummy account and he gave it away, the name that he was using. But
did he? So yes, that's what Damien was referring to. So Damien, you don't have to apologize to that dude. It's all good. You didn't do it. He did it. You know. But I will say this though. This is what annoys me. Twitter hasn't blocked this guy yet. His account is still active. Everybody's reporting him like crazy. Even I've never done this before because I'm not a fucking snitch, you know. But I did it. I reported this guy. That guy's still up there. I'm like, wow, Twitter, what's up, man? Clean your shit up, you know.
Dude, like 40 people.
That's because you're not The Rock and you didn't get.
That's right.
I know some people of color that they have a large amount of followers and they get a lot of fucked up feedback. And they've been trying to get verified because people are trying to make their duplicate accounts, make them say dumb shit, you know.
Yeah.
And still, Twitter doesn't want to verify them or do anything. They don't give a shit.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Brett? 40 people. What now?
Oh, it's like 40 people must have reported that shit in rapid succession, and still nothing happens. I'm pretty sure everybody that saw it's like, yeah, report this fucker. Like, not even necessarily because he's a fucker, but because he's also fake. It's also a blatant fake. Like, look, if you want to come in with your name and home address and come at me hot, like, cool, we can talk. I'm not, but hiding behind, anonymity like that, it's just a bullshit.
Yeah. By the way, I'm pretty sure it was hundreds of people that reported him. It's like, bro, I got a lot of followers. Like, this is serious. But Twitter's still not doing nothing. But, it is what it is. No skin off my back. But, again, I'm like, wow, my man just came out and said that shit. That was crazy, you know?
That's like in the old days.
That is like the old days.
Hearing that shit,
right? Yeah. At school, hear that shit all the time. It's like, wow, on Twitter in public, really, with all these people? Okay, bro, get ready for it. You know, even now, people are still coming at this guy. You know, that shit is crazy. All right, but anyway, Damon, thank you for the words, brother. Thank you for the words. Appreciate that, man. All right, let us move on to Mr. Beef Crepe. Did Microsoft get Bethesda for a steal in hindsight? Forget all the tech and other studios. Bethesda alone has $2 billion in franchises and TES and Fallout, if not Starfield too. So he's wondering if they bought them for a like a discount or something.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, we don't know what's going on with Bethesda. I mean, the last few of their games did good, but they had that, Fallout, the Fallout online game.
Yeah, 76.
I mean, it's gaining itself back now, but I'm wondering if there was some sort of hidden something in there going on that why Microsoft was able to swoop in. But then again, Microsoft paid more than fucking Disney and Marvel to get them.
Almost, they get played close to it.
Close to what they got Disney or Marvel.
I do want to say this though. You're right. The last few Bethesda games, I'm talking about all of Bethesda. Now, even Doom Eternal, which I fucking love, the game did not do that well. The last Wolfenstein didn't do so well. Fallout 76 didn't do that well. So a lot of Bethesda games, recent games, have not sold that well. So maybe they were like, hey, maybe we should sell because things ain't looking too hot right now. You know. So who knows?
I don't think. I think they still have money in the bank. They know they're a legacy developer. I think somebody just showed him a check big enough.
Maybe everybody has a price, right?
It was ZeniMax that they sent it to.
They bought ZeniMax. Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, Skyrim is one of those games that just keeps fucking selling. Like, I know everybody wants to take their turn to shit on Bethesda, and that's the popular thing to fucking do right now. But they're a tentpole fucking studio, man. There's very few studios that you can point that have come out with as big and as memorable games like BioWare, right? Like, people know their games. They have a legacy. So yeah, like, the last online Fallout game didn't do that well, I guess, by quote unquote. By those standards, ESO is still fucking rocking it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're making money off of their, for every bit of a failure that Fallout 76 was, their MMO is the dominant MMO on the market right now. So they're making money hand over fist, still off just the Elder Scrolls IP. So what you see is a very small slice of revenue from Fallout 76 is being made by $15 monthly subscriptions by millions of players on this side. And then other people buying the cash boxes and the costumes and all the shit. Like, they get their money. They do. On top of it being a $60 game. There's it's
also how much money are they burning through developing the engine for Starfield and and the next generation of Bethesda games?
I mean, probably a lot, but literally everybody on this panel has said that they need to do that. So literally everybody on this panel can't complain about that.
We complain about what now?
They do need to do it. No, their new engine.
Oh,
putting a shit ton of money into the new engine.
Good for them. I'll complain. I'll complain if it's still shitty, But
I'm sure that they were connected. I'm sure Microsoft flashed money. And they're like, "We'll give you the money to overhaul this whole thing. We'll make it real. We'll make it rain money, polish this shit up like Jen.
How much does it cost to fix that? Wait, how much? Wait, there may be a few more thousand. All right, a few more million. We just buy you. We'll just do that. Fuck it.
Yeah, like there's a lot of potential there, and like I don't know. I hear a lot of people kind of being like, well, this isn't it wasn't a big deal. Bethesda seemed to be on its way out, so they got him for kind of a steal. Like, I don't really think that's the case. And remember, they bought it for more than Marvel. They bought it for more than fucking Star Wars. This wasn't a steal, and it wasn't a small acquisition. I don't understand how people are taking a $7 billion acquisition and just going to be like, well, I mean, it's not really a big... Dude, it's a $7 billion acquisition.
Yeah.
It is a big thing. Yeah, 7.5. It is a big... That's a ludicrous amount of money to spend. And there are people that are analysts, there are people that are directors, and some people shoot their shot and they get it wrong. But when somebody spends over $7 billion, I gotta trust they have had at least some professionals who kind of know what they're doing, look into this and do their research and do the projections, knowing what they know on the inside and we don't on the outside. So yeah, to a certain point, I kind of trust Bethesda the same way a lot of people trust PlayStation. Yeah, it's burned me several times, but they've given me enough good that
but you keep coming back.
Yeah. Just like everything.
It's like an abusive relationship.
Dude, name one studio that hasn't burned you.
Oh yeah.
Of course, man. It happens.
Yeah. So I think it's a huge deal. I think there's a lot of people right now trying to minimize it because they're PlayStation fanboys. And I'm not talking about the people on the panel here. I'm talking about like in the zeitgeist in general. The reason everybody's asking these questions to begin with is because there's so many people trying to downplay how big an acquisition this was.
Yeah, I agree with that. Where it's like, it is. You think about all the, not only just the Bethesda games, but literally how much of essentially history that Microsoft just invested in, right? Like, as far as PC history, we're talking about Doom and Quake. We're talking about id Software, the champs of old OG PC games. Not to mention the other stuff that they have from ZeniMax and all that stuff. So it's like they didn't just. I mean, I think the other thing is that everybody likes to believe that it's just Bethesda they bought. They didn't just buy Bethesda.
Yeah, they bought a bunch of studios.
A bunch of shit.
That's like going to a restaurant and saying you want a steak, but just a plate with a steak on it. Like, oh no. There's buttered rolls, there's green beans, there's mashed potatoes, there's gravy.
That's what
we need torrents on right now. Mashed potatoes.
They literally walked in the restaurant and bought everything on the menu and the restaurant.
Yep. Yeah, they just bought the restaurant. They go, we'll take one of those.
And that's why I feel like this has been in the works. I'm sure this could have been over a year in the works.
Oh, listen, this shit didn't just happen the week beforehand. It's been in there for a while, probably years in the making.
when Uncle Phil came out and he announced all those studios that he purchased with it last year, remember?
Yeah.
That maybe this was in the works and could have happened even then. But they were like, it's not going to happen. And we all heard there was another studio, but it wound up popping something else. Maybe that wasn't the other one.
Yeah.
Maybe it was supposed to be this one.
Yo, John Price is going, wait, hold on. It's Bethesda, the mashed potatoes, the salad, the rolls.
Everything.
Everything, man. Did a steak, man. Juicy. You know?
Bethesda's the steak. Name me a company bigger. Name me a company that's had a top tier game everybody knows about for as long, other than Rockstar.
I was about to say, what about GTA, man? Or Grand Theft Auto. That's the other one, you know? There you go, Grand Theft Auto.
Other than Rockstar?
Other than GTA and Rockstar. Like,
maybe anything
Mario,
from EA?
Nintendo, and Mario, and Zelda, and Pokemon.
Just Nintendo in general.
Yeah, like, Nintendo in general. I was about to say, yeah.
One third of what they have.
No more moving goalposts.
No, I'm not moving goalposts. You guys just named basically a list of the best video games of history. You just all put Bethesda up there with.
Well, Bethesda is up there on that level, man. It's,
you know? That's my point. Yeah. Like it's impossible to deny that this is kind of a big deal.
Nah, unless you got Rico on here, right, Brad? Then he'll deny that shit.
I don't know about that.
You're preaching to the choir here. We all.
Yeah, we all, Brad. We all. You don't have to convert any of us, bro.
No. I'm
not even a Bethesda. I'm not even a fan of Bethesda games, and I know the impact of this shit. You know,
I'd actually like to say something that Brett won't be happy about.
All
right, next topic.
Hey.
Okay, because I feel like
we're lumping in Cheerios, man.
We are lumping in Bethesda developed games and Bethesda published games. To me, those two are different.
This is true.
Like,
yes,
the Bethesda developed games, they tend to be the ones that everyone shits on, right? Again, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, whatnot. But yet the Bethesda published games, they're the ones that people are all right with for the most part, and they're the ones that people hold in their heart, i.e. the Doom, Wolfenstein, etc. So I think
I
want to make that
think
distinction.
People don't hold Skyrim in their heart? You think people don't hold Fallout in their heart?
Compared to, I think they hold it in their heart, but it's Tony's favorite word. Oh damn it! I forgot what it is again.
Motherfucker.
Okay, they hold it in their heart, but they don't hold it with that level of like, okay, it's up there and it's perfect. It's more like it's up there, but it's flawed, if you understand.
I'm pretty sure the Fallout IP by itself is one of the world's most recognizable IPs. In fact, they're vying to make movies and TV shows out of it. Like, it's a fully saturated thing. Just the idea.
I'm not saying that the IP itself is not highly up there. All I'm saying is that they hold it up there, but they hold it with the idea of like, yeah, it's great, but it has quite a lot of flaws. Whereas stuff with like Wolfenstein, it's like, okay, they've had a lull period like in the PS3 days where the Wolfenstein
you're talking about the jank. You're basically talking about the janky.
I'm saying it's great, but it's jank, and that's like the Bethesda developed games. They're great, but they have jank. Whereas Bethesda published games. I'm not arguing that. Again, that's outside of what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that the Bethesda published games they are great, and they have very little jank. And I think if we're trying to like put them in the same category, I can't do that because to me it's like it's not the same Bethesda. Like Bethesda's not involved in that process. They just publish the game, not develop it. So this is why I take irk when people say that, oh, it's a Bethesda game like Doom and whatnot. It's like it's not really a Bethesda game because they didn't make the game.
In business terms, it is. But you'll notice I haven't been arguing any of those. Like, I get that you don't like the Fallout Skyrim engine because it's janky. No, hold on. I get that you don't like it. It's cool. We've gone over this. It's one of those things where, like, you're never going to see how bad The Witcher is. Like, we're just going to agree to disagree on it. But, God damn it. We're going to agree to disagree on this kind of thing. But just because they have some jank to them, or maybe even in spite of the jank, these things are beloved titles. Like, if we're talking about how much, like, people love and hold these things in their hearts, like, Elder Scrolls is one of the franchises that people fucking love from their childhood. they get goosebumps when they hear like I still remember when Skyrim came out, just the drum melody that they came with. I was like, oh shit, it's another Elder Scrolls game. And like, yeah, I agree that they've been milking that for 10 years, but people are hungry for that for 10 years. So like, there are a lot of people who hold that as a cherished game in their heart. I understand that you don't, but you can't write it off just because you don't like it because of the jank.
I think I'm not writing it off. All I'm saying is that I think people need to distinguish the Bethesda published games from the Bethesda developed games, because to me, they seem to be very distinct in terms of how they work and how they look and things about them. I'm not saying that one's better than the other or anything like that. All I'm saying is that I can feel the difference between Bethesda developed games from non-Bethesda developed games, but Bethesda published games.
Yeah, and
I don't know. I just don't like when people say that Doom is a Bethesda game. It's like, it's not really a Bethesda game. Like, they didn't make the game. Like, when people say that something is a something game, I see it as more of a case of these guys made the game. So for example, Halo is a Bungie game, you know? Because again, Bungie made it. But then you could say that, okay, the first, is it 3 games or 4 games are Bungie? Is ODST Bungie or not? I don't know. I don't remember.
It is the first 5.
So first 5 are the Bungie games, and then ones afterwards are the 343 games. Like, to me, that's an accurate statement. But then someone could also say that, okay, it's a Microsoft game. It's like, it's not really Microsoft developed per se. It's developed by these studios that are part of Microsoft.
I think people understand that. The same thing goes for Sony. Like, you can say it's a Sony developed game, but which studio? Like, it's same difference, man.
All right, we're getting into fucking semantics right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's move on because we got more shit. All right. Axel Wolf. This was a fun one. In Watch Dogs Legion, you can recruit characters that have their own perks based on their jobs, etc. If you guys, so my throwdown, were characters in the game, what would be your perks based on your real life abilities? Oh man.
I don't know how the perk system works.
I don't know how it works either.
It's supposed to be that whatever you like. What was it? There was one girl that was good with paintballs. Like she was great at paintballing, so she's great at just shooting. She had that accuracy. So if you need somebody to go out there and start shooting, because she spent all that time, and she actually shoots with a paintball gun. That's just one of the ones that I know.
Yeah, I don't know what the perk. I didn't think about that. I don't know what the perks are in that game.
I don't know what my skills would apply to in Watch Dogs world. Probably useless. Maybe. Hey, whoa, wait! I can put graffiti on the walls.
You could do what?
Yeah, you could do the 3D modeling for gear and weapons and stuff.
See, okay, go using the logic of the Hunger Games. You'd be good at camouflage because you can paint and draw and stuff, and hence you can camouflage in your environment.
Oh, okay. So that I probably have some Inviso mode. Because art is equivalent to or I can customize my weaponry.
Oh yeah, the other thing in the Hunger Games,
probably pretty useless. Maybe draw a map.
We need a map. Get Manny.
Yeah, get ready to draw us a map.
Let's see, because I have 2 skills. I have a writer and I'm a podcast host. So podcast host, that's like talking to people. So maybe I could be like a guy who incites people to violence or something. You know,
be the from the Warriors that was on the radio.
What happened? So what would be back my perk then?
+2 to command.
Okay, command. Okay, so that'll be mine then.
You get host powers.
Yeah. Who Beef Crepe said Tony would pass all the speech checks with his radio voice. I would. Yeah, I have high charm too, bro. So I'll be straight. You know.
Yeah, you'll charm everybody. Like, hey.
Yeah. By the way, that's what I do in RPGs. When I first start, I just throw all my points at the charm or persuasion or whatever the equivalent. I'm like, I want to pass all the conversations, man. You know.
Oh, that's how you do it, huh?
It is, Brett. You know, I just do that.
Yo, man, you didn't need to kill what's his face. He killed himself.
Dude, I told you, yeah. No, dude. Okay, the final boss of it was this one Fallout 3 DLC where you basically fight the Chinese, right? I convinced the final boss to kill himself. It was awesome. I'd have to fight him. I convinced him he was an asshole, and he fucking killed himself right there on the spot. I'm like, that's power, you know?
Isn't that? But didn't you? You didn't in Mass Effect. You didn't have that happen.
What?
because what's his face? If you have your charm pretty high, you can actually convince what's his face to kill himself. The final boss of original Mass Effect.
Oh yeah, I did that in one version. Yeah, I did that. Sarek, I convinced him to, I did that too. You know, I love doing that shit in games. So that'll be my perk. My perk will be to speech and all that shit. You know. Okay. Adam, what about you? What will be your perk in Watch Dogs?
My perk in Watch Dogs. I don't know. It could be a bunch of things.
Come on, it'd be the tech shit.
It would be the
You'd be fucking hacking people.
It's all different. I guess
Adam, that's what you would be doing. You'd be a hacker.
I'd be doing
You'd be the hacker,
a
man.
lot of networking stuff. That's what I do in the really real world. So I'll probably do more of that. They're like, all right, we need a headquarters over here. We need to set this up. We need to have this network connected to this network. They need to talk to me. All right, let's go set that shit up. And that's what I would do. So yeah.
And Adam stories.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he could be an oral something, you know, orator. That's the word I'm looking for. You know,
Orator.
Yeah, or Carlos, since you're talking, would be yours.
I guess hacker is one of them.
Yeah.
Just by default.
Yo, what about a fucking chef, bro? I seen those pictures on Instagram. You know.
Oh yeah, you can do that too. Yeah, chef. Yo, man, chef and hacker.
There you go. There you go. Perfect. All right. I guess chef would be like a crafter kind of guy, like a crafting skill. You know. There you go. Yeah. All right, because I've got to make it into video game terms. You know. All right, Brian. What about you?
I guess. Well, firstly, my British powers won't work since everyone's immune here. So.
Yes.
He would be a villain because you're British.
Yeah. He'll just no. The thing is, it takes place in England, so Brian's just talking like everybody else there. You know.
That's true. That is true.
I was thinking something more lines of planning and analysis, since I do that a bit too often. I'll just analyze things for no reason, and plus I don't want to say hacker like these guys because again, it's too obvious. But yeah, it's like planning, analysis, and maybe some sort of calming
technical ability.
So analysis. So you would have like if you go into an environment, you could like quickly ascertain all the hazards and shit. You know,
Ryan, I got it.
So
you're the architect.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
All right, Brett. What about you?
Oh, come on, man. Is that really a question?
Yes, because I don't know the answer.
I want to hear.
He's tattooing everybody.
Okay. What is Brett's?
He's the architect. Oh no, the structural architect. What do you call those? Like he's the one that's
engineer. Okay, there you go. Plus suit engineering. Damn.
Yes. Plus suit engineering. Access to berserker mode.
Nice. There you go.
And then you have your special ability is your soapbox. You're just like.
Yeah. All right. And
that's berserker mode.
Yes.
Okay.
Since he's not here, what is Chris?
Chris,
he's all about
financial guy. He's gonna.
He's the money man.
He has the ability.
He's gonna have charts. Yeah.
He has the ability. Intelligence.
Oh, there you go. Intelligence. There you go.
Scout and intelligence, man. He always knows what people are up to and what their influences are and what their motivations are.
This is true. I want to. Yeah, go ahead.
Read the tea leaves.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say like
he reads the tea leaves.
The way he levels up is he gets one more tea leaf every time.
That's right.
Well, I have a better question. What do you think hip-hop gamers?
A hip-hop gamer? Oh, shit.
So what do you think they're going to put him down?
Well, the thing is, because he, by the way, for you guys who don't know, hip-hop gamer was actually in Watch Dogs 2 as a character. I don't know if he had the belt on, though.
No, he didn't have the belt, but it did say hip hop. There's a guy in a park that looked like a hip hop gamer, and you scan him. It said hip hop gamer, and it said gamer was actually a perk on him.
Really? Okay, so his perk would be gamer then.
Yeah, it said gamer and then musician or something like that. It was a weird thing.
Yeah.
See, and if we had a pro gamer in the crew, they could just go win tournaments and make money for the crew. That was it.
Well, hip hop gamer. Hip-hop, one of his...
No, hip-hop gamer couldn't enter tournaments because he can't use cheat codes, you know? I love you, hip-hop. That'd be a stupid perk, though. He could, like, enable cheats and shit, you know?
Enable cheats.
Yeah. Oh, man. By the way, quick thing. John Christ says, it's a shame you don't do Let's Plays, Tony. Here's the thing. We don't do a lot of those because I'm being real, and John, you're fairly new to Throwdown. That's not what our audience really cares about, man. You know, the numbers just are never there. Really, we had one a couple weeks ago. Me, Adam. It was Adam. It was just it was me, you, and somebody else, wasn't it? Or
it was me.
Oh yeah. I was like, I know there's a third guy there, but we weren't playing with him.
That other guy, that other guy to co-host the show.
We
there was only a handful of people that jumped in.
Listen, for Throwdown, our audience, they this is what they care about, the whole talking shit. They don't really care about us playing games. We will play games, obviously, and shit, but it's not really something people care about, you know?
If a big multiplayer game comes out that like at least 3 of us care about, then we'd probably stream it.
Yeah.
I mean, we did it for
Division. Stream for special occasions.
Yeah.
Stream for Monster Hunter. People
you missed out Monster Hunter.
Yeah, John, you missed out. We streamed Monster Hunter for like 2 months straight, man, back in the day.
Yep.
All of us
were there, except for Adam. He was the only one, and Brian wasn't there. But Brian was there for the GTAs, for GTAs and
Brian
shit.
Was there
for Monster Hunter.
Brian did some. Yeah, he did like 2 streams, I think.
I don't remember that.
For the beta.
Oh, for the beta. That's right.
I know we did a Souls game too.
What happened, Brett?
I said I know we did a Souls game. I think it was Bloodborne.
Yes, we did Bloodborne. We did Demon Souls 3. Right,
that was great. Because every 3 seconds says, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah. So we've done it. So and we may bring it back, but again, people, they really want this shit. But let's just be honest. There's not even games coming out right now, anyway. So we'll see.
It's a special occasion thing.
Definitely, Monster Hunter movie. Fuck that bullshit. Stupid.
We'll probably stream Demon Souls when it comes out for the PS5 when Brett and Chris carry me.
Oh shit!
Is that the game?
Dude, Souls games are the best ones to get because you get the best reactions. Close followed by Carlos's Monster Hunter. Like I could just sit and listen to Carlos react to giant.
Yeah, Carlos is the best to play, man.
Yo, man, gotta have something.
Gotta have something. All right, man. Moving on to the next question from Mr. Axel Wolf, and I confirm I can talk about some things here. Tony, how did you get an Xbox Series X, and can you share your thoughts? I can't talk about how I got it. I can tell you some things about it, though. The load times are fucking ridiculous, bro. So,
do you have one?
I can't answer that. Cannot answer that. I'll tell you off air, Brett. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll tell you off air. I'll tell you. Don't worry about it. Okay, so load times are ridiculous. So the games I tried out, I tried Control. I tried Control, and I tried the Outer Worlds, right? Okay, Control, Manny, you know this. Those load times they take forever.
That game takes. It is brutal. Like especially if you played Ghost of Tsushima with its quick.
Oh God.
Control.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is just like that. So Control in this thing, I am not exaggerating. Click, continue game, load up a previous save. 5 fucking seconds, bam, you're in the game. It's like,
really?
Shit, Outer Worlds is another one. That game takes 50 years to load. It was like 10 seconds. I was like, wow,
How was can you talk about how any of the slowdown that happens in that Control game? Because I know in that one, the maintenance area,
Well, I didn't get to that, but the little I played of it, there was no slowdown. And here's the thing about these games: they were not what do I call it? They're not smart delivery. It's just the regular game running off the Xbox X hardware, and it just naturally boosts them up. That's what I'm looking for. They're not these games were not optimized, and they're just loading up that quickly.
So that means that because I was going to ask about the ray tracing. Okay, so that one doesn't. Yeah, it's the regular vanilla version of Control, just running on better hardware.
Yes, exactly it. So that was really good. Again, that was like the most surprising thing for me, just the load time. So I'm like, damn, PS5 is going to have this shit too. It's going to be ridiculous. I could also tell you that the games because I don't have a frame of reference, but they looked good, on the TV, that I played on, but I couldn't tell if they were much better because again, they weren't optimized, so they just looked good, But again,
you're playing on the 4K TV, right?
Yes, 4K TV. They look good, but again, I couldn't tell the difference, to be honest. Maybe it's just a Tony thing. I'm like, I couldn't tell the difference. I would need to have like a 1080p TV next to the 4K TV so I could tell the difference. But when I played, I was just like, okay, looks the way I remember it. But it looked good. But again, the thing that was impressing me the most was the fact that it just loaded up quickly. Frame rate for Control looked the same-ish. I couldn't. I needed to have the actual game next to it so I could actually tell the difference.
Well, I mean, the bit like that's why I asked about the maintenance area, because the maintenance area is probably the most taxing on the game, taxing area in the game.
Yeah,
and that's the one that experiences, at least on the version I'm playing, experiences the most slowdown. But then again, at least according to Digital Foundry, the Xbox One X plays that. Plays
Xbox Series X. You mean, or you talk? Oh, the Xbox Microsoft with these names.
Xbox One X actually does play Control the best out of all the consoles. So it probably plays it even better than that, my guess is.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing I tested out was the quick resume. So basically, I could pause Control and then jump into Outer Worlds, play that a little bit, jump back into Control seamlessly, right? And you could do that, but I guess you would have to be an ADD person for this shit. You could do that for up to 7 games. But like, who's going to be bouncing around 7 games, But if you want, you could do that,
I mean, I'm wondering, this makes me think about, the downloading part of it. Sort of like like you play a little bit of something and you sort of like, hey, the new one came in and you don't need to shut down the old one, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you could do that, So that's all I could really tell you right now. I have more for you guys at a later date. I cannot say anything more than that, but there will be more content from me. That's all I'm going to say about that,
You can't say the date or anything.
Can't do it. All will be revealed when this happens, but it is just wait for it.
Stay tuned on Twitter, guys.
Yeah, that's it. Just wait for it. But if you guys follow me on Twitter, you could probably put some clues together and stuff. But that's all I can say about that. But I was very impressed by the load times. Because again, those games take forever. And if you saw Danny Pena, he posted a clip of him playing The Division. That game, super ultra long load times, right? 10 seconds flat. It's like, wow.
I'm curious to see how that works. Only because it's the server side. It's the connection on the other end that causes it. Because remember, we sit in a queue and it's like, waiting.
Yeah.
So.
And again, it's just running raw off the hardware, not optimized or nothing,
And all of these people, like Danny, Digital Foundry, Ryan McCaffrey, they're all showing the load times. It's crazy how Sony and PlayStation are the ones touting the SSDs, but somehow everyone's just seeing the Xbox load times. Why couldn't Sony tout this earlier? Now Xbox is known for the fast load time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, Microsoft's just been getting the head on them for everything, this generation. Actually, before the generation, what am I talking about? Shit is crazy. But yeah, guys, stay tuned for more. That's all I'm going to say about that. There is more. Like I said in that picture I took, there's more content coming, And Brett, I'll answer your questions off air, bro.
Yo, the perks, yo.
The perks, yeah, man. +1 to something, to knowledge. All right, man. Moving on here, we have a question from Black Metal Gamer. All right. Black. Will Nintendo start releasing $70 games? If so, will people tolerate that from Nintendo? Of course they will. Nintendo could release $100 games and the fan base will buy that shit, So, yeah, people are going to tolerate it. And whatever, Nintendo used to have $70 games back in the day. Super Nintendo and all that shit.
64 were like 80?
Yeah.
70, 80? They were expensive.
Dude, I remember, I'm not going to name names right now, but I remember on Twitter when that fucking Mario game came out on mobile and shit, it cost $10. This dude actually said, it's Mario, he's a legacy character, it deserves to be $10. Like, bro, you're justifying this fucking running game? That's all it was just an endless runner, But this is the mentality of the Nintendo fans, so $70 ain't shit for them. They'll gladly pay $100 a cart for these little ass cartridges. Think about these dudes are buying that fucking collection for $60. And
yeah,
they didn't care.
Unoptimized and running an emulation.
Yeah.
You saying these dudes, man? You talking about me?
Yeah, I am talking about you, bro.
Man, you're an enabler.
I am.
Yeah, man, you even bought the Wii U. You even bought the Wii U.
I was the only one that bought the Wii U. I was the only sucker. Oh, there was 3 of us actually.
Private.
I actually have a question, and I think that this is prominent given the current question. Okay, so currently next gen games will all be on disc, right? What if Instead of coming on disc, they come on like cards, like SSD cards. But the games cost $80 to make to cover the costs. Would you be okay with that? Because also it means that you don't have to install them because SSD.
Oh, okay.
One will be fast enough for the read-write speeds. That's the kicker. Would you be okay with that? Again, and because the chip sizes, they'll be what the size of, I don't know, PS2 memory cards or the Xbox thingamajig.
Or the Pro Stick Duos.
Yeah.
By the way, if you guys saw my Twitter, I did post a picture of me holding the Microsoft expandable joint. Got to see how big it is.
Well, Brian, I don't know.
It's so tiny.
I don't know if the
right.
It's just a hypothetical, or you think this is actually plausible because it's not. Yeah, there's no way that because the SSDs are supposed to be like an internal sort of thing for PlayStation at least. So I don't know how you can get another expandable input to put the actual game.
That's the thing. It's like a USB type interface where you just plug it in the front or something. Again, the idea is that rather than having the disk that pretty much is the game and then you install it on your drive, which takes up space, you have the game on the medium and then you run it off the medium rather than having to install it on your drive. But it'll cost more to cover the cost of all the manufacturing stuff. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, would you be okay if games went back to how things were, but costed like $20 more?
Well, that's too. It's multi-layered in a way because updates are still going to be a pain, and updates are freaking heavy.
Again, you can still put the update on the drive itself.
Again, that would be cool. Yeah,
it's like the theory side of it's still the same in that. Again, it's like the Switch does. Where the game's on the drive, you plug it in the drive to play the game, and then updates it on your disc. And that way, you don't need like a 1 terabyte drive because updates themselves will be like 4 gigs, 10 gigs.
If that was possible, I would say yes, but it's not. I mean,
but also they cost more. Again, that's the caveat. They cost like $20 more or something. Let's say it's like $100. Like, would you be okay with that?
Oh no, fuck that. I rather
we're talking Neo Geo prices right there.
Yeah.
Neo Geo console actual game prices there.
You mean I'm gonna have to pay as much as the Australians do for video games?
Yeah, but it's all hypothetical. Brian's talking about, you know.
Yeah, again, it's just it's an idea that I thought about. Like, because again, the one problem that we have now is that disk speeds are terrible. The Blu-ray drive is really bad at reading discs, hence why we need to install games on the drive. So what if we could live in a world where we don't have to do that, and we go back to like how the Switch works, in that you simply plug in the thingamajig, and that's what the game runs off, and it's easier, right? Of course, digital games still works the same because they're digital, but the idea that the physical medium is now different. So now it's just like a plug-in thing chip. You plug in the front or plug in the side or something, and then boom, your game's on there. No installs or anything. Of course, it'll be updates if there are updates, but again, no installs. You plug in, you play. Would you be happy with that if games cost more?
So, I mean, it really depends on how SSDs go up in price or go down in price in the future. Because if for example your SSDs, I don't know, get super cheap, you can get 10 terabytes for the next gen or whatever, then I would think it's kind of pointless. I would just download the game instead and not pay 20 extra bucks.
You know what? I probably do the same thing. Like, I'll just download because I'm not a guy that's really caring about physical anyway. You know.
Okay, Brett.
But if it was this gen and we had that capability with that 825 gigabyte SSD minus the
600, let's just be real here. You know,
around 600 probably. Then I'd probably think about it. Actually, it'd be much more interesting.
Yeah, hold on. He has Brett first. Then you could go at him.
I've pretty much converted to digital, so I just stay that way.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Adam.
My question was for you.
Oh, what's up?
For the Division, that was running off of the SSD or the external?
The whatever the internal was.
The internal, it was running off because that's the last thing I want to do. Like, let's say if I go, or anybody, when this happens and we go and take our old PS4 games and play them off the 3.0, and it just takes forever to load like usual. It's going to force us to want to put it on the SSD, but like you said, we have limited space. I really just want to hold the SSD just to like PS5 exclusives. I don't want to have to use my PS4 games on it just to have them run a little faster, that connection.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. What's up?
Wait, Manny did not answer.
As far as would I pay more for it? I don't know about that.
And you're the physical guy too.
Yeah, I'm the physical guy.
When it's $20 more, but no more having to install games or anything. Simply plug in.
I don't even like the fact that we need to pay $70 for the current stuff. To be honest, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, if just like with digital, if there was no other choice, then I would, I guess, probably just deal with it. You know, but I don't really have any sort of preference on it, to be honest. But I don't like the pricing though.
Can I throw it to the fans? I want to see what they have to say.
Yeah. Would you guys answer? Would you pay $80 for an SSD card? Pretty much like what Nintendo kind of does, or I know Nintendo does an SD card. This would be an SSD card. We already got one answer. Fuck no.
I mean, definitely.
Yeah, they're like, I'll download it. Yeah, my thing is like $80. That's like just crazy.
Definitely, pricing is a big factor. But then again, if we're talking about a world where you're paying $80 for a cartridge, good and damn well the digital version is just going to be just as expensive.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody but Tank said no. Tank says it depends on the game. We got variations of hell no, Brian. Just so you know. And Crepe. Yeah. Beef.
Find out what people would say.
Beef Crepe said, "Fuck that. I got Game Pass." There you go, brother. There you go. All right, man. Let's move on because we're almost done. Where are we right now? Mob Hits. Our resident rumor starter in the fucking chat. He's always posting these rumors. I don't know where he gets these things from.
Yeah, he has sources, man.
He really does. I'm like, where are you getting this shit from, bro?
I mean, he's the source.
I love it. All right. His question is, what is your take on games being announced too soon? Is it good or bad for the player base? It depends.
No, it's always bad.
I think it's bad.
No, it's always bad because the question premises saying if it was announced too soon, so it's already making the assumption it was announced too soon, so it's already bad.
Yeah, you're right about that. Okay, maybe we should change the question then? Okay, actually, the question I have it written here is it good or bad to announce games years in advance?
No.
It's a difficult one.
I personally don't have a problem with it. Whatever. I don't care. Like, my thing is, as long as the game actually does come out, fine. Because some games, like The Agent, let's just be real, that shit ain't coming,
Yeah, that's
or Deep Down.
Or Deep Down. My thing's like, listen, if you want to announce it like 7 years in advance, I don't care. Just make sure it comes out.
Starcraft Ghost, Star Citizen. Shit. Those games are never.
Star Citizen that's not even a real game, man. They just created that Kickstarter just to make money,
Yeah.
Like, think about it. They're making more money not releasing the game,
Yeah, they're not going to put it into that. That's their cash cow.
Yeah.
The reason why companies announce games way too early is because they want to excite the fan base because they probably don't have anything else.
And the shareholders.
Their shareholders, yeah, they're like, okay, look, this is what's coming. So, that's what, Microsoft is doing that right now. Like Brett, he's obviously wants to play Fable. Like, he's like, I'm getting the Xbox because it's going to have Fable on it. But that's not going to come out for another year at the very least. So, yeah, that's why they do it.
Yeah, because they know people are going to get hype. The Final Fantasy remake, Final Fantasy games in general, they're the master of this shit. Kingdom Hearts,
Square Enix.
Square Enix, they're the
Project
kings.
Athia, that's like, that's just not going to come on next
PS6 exclusive launch game,
Yeah.
Yeah, Square Enix is like the worst offender of that shit. They really are.
They make whole press conferences to announce that they're going to be announcing a game.
Yes, that's right. Kojima's the master of announcement and of announcement.
Yeah.
You know?
This week, I will announce that there will be an announcement for an announcement of a game.
Yes.
Bethesda is like they're notorious for like both. They're notorious for Fallout 4 being like announced, oh, it's gonna come out in like 3 months. But they're also notorious for, Elder Scrolls 6 got announced like 2 years ago. And it's like, when the hell is this gonna come out?
You know that ain't coming out no time soon.
Yeah, it's
like, yo, here's a logo, a castle, and a dragon. There you go. That's all you get.
It's funny how they did that, because like they literally just changed their whole technique. They're like, oh, like last time they were like, oh, we're announcing that this is out. By the way, it's coming out next week. Yeah. Like, oh, great.
Yeah, like remember with Fallout Shelter? It's like Fallout Shelter. Get it now,
Yeah, it came out the same day with E3. It was crazy.
Nobody cared about Fallout Shelter.
Nah, people like that game. Yeah. I know it's a shitty mobile game, but whatever. Some people liked it.
I had it on the phone. I had it on a Switch and stuff. It's fun for a little while. It's funny because if you don't play for a while and then you go back and you see like the whole place is ruined, people are dead. I'm like, oh shit, this is like those Tamagotchis.
Yo, man, your Tamagotchi got killed.
They all died. I had to start a whole new game. Everybody died. Some raiders came and broke in and killed everybody.
Oh, John. It seems like John is a Fallout guy. He's like, Fallout guy. He said someone talking shit about Fallout. I'll talk about shit about Fallout all day, man. Even though I do like Fallout, though,
I got my Pip-Boy tattoo right next to my privates.
Which testicle, man? Oh man.
That's his other name for it.
This is other name for it.
Oh, John. By the way, if you want to know something about me, Fallout 3 is probably top 3 games of all time for me.
Excuse me?
Probably top five for sure.
It's fun. It's fun. Besides the crap.
I love that fucking game, man. Even the DLCs are all good.
Yeah, the DLCs were good. But man, I played that shit on PS3. That shit was rough on PS3, boy. That game was the scariest game I ever played in my life. Not because it was like frightening, but because I was scared that my game would crash, because it usually did. I would save every 5 seconds, man. Like save. Every time I get to a door, my heart would start beating. Like, will the game crash when I open this shit? Because like 7 times out of 10, it would crash.
Is that for everybody that played on the PS3?
For PS3, that because of that game, I didn't touch another Bethesda game until this generation. I was like, I'm not dealing with this fucking company. This is the crappiest experience I've ever had. And the game was good. It was a good game, but yo, that was the buggiest fucking game ever.
It was especially worse because it was on PlayStation 3. For some reason, they were unable to optimize it, or it ran into, what was it? It ran into a memory leaking issue because it remembered where every single item was in the game, and that was the problem.
But wasn't it supposed to do that?
It is, but for some reason it didn't bode so well on the PlayStation 3. The way the PlayStation 3 is.
It's supposed to compress it, and it didn't do a good job of compressing it. It held it in the cache.
Yeah, so that's why it would crash. So that's what you would have whenever you would crash. Essentially, you would be filling up all of your memory with the locations of all the shit. So remember, one of the solutions was there was like, don't move anything.
Yeah.
Leave it where it is.
Leave the Coca-Cola bottle alone.
Yeah, Nuka-Cola, yeah. Yeah, and that's why I didn't even bother with Skyrim. I'm like, yo, I don't want to experience that shit again. Fuck that,
Skyrim was good.
I didn't bother with it.
Man.
I played a little bit of it on PC. I'm like, what is this shit? Look, because it was already janky looking by that point, 7 years later.
Yeah, man. Throw some mods on it, make it look pretty.
Yeah, right. Also, I'm some raggedy looking dude in jail and shit. I got thrown on a corpse cart with some other criminals. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Like, man, I ain't no criminal.
Yeah, right. All right, man. Let's move on. We have. Who is this question from? Who is this? Mob hits again, right? What has been your biggest wow moment in gaming history? Good question, sir.
Can I say a recent one? It's not the biggest though. Okay, it's a fun one, but it's not the biggest. When I remember we were playing Monster Hunter, it was me, Tony, and I forgot who else was playing. Remember I don't remember their names, but they're the flying fucking dragons. Like there's 2 of them that were fighting each other. Remember that?
What with the Rathalos
and the other one, the green one.
So there was 2 I don't think so. They're like DLC flying dragons.
Okay.
So they started fighting each other, right? And I'm like, oh shit, they're fighting. Let them fight.
Fight.
And then they did this crazy ass animation where they spin all over each other, and the fucking nuclear explosion happens.
Was it Bezelgeuse?
No, it wasn't Bezelgeuse.
They
were DLC dragons. They weren't like they didn't come with a game.
Oh, I don't know them then.
Was it one of the?
I mean, I was there, but I totally forgot that shit. Did we stream it? It's probably on one of those streams.
We did stream it. I'll try to find it, but
wasn't it one of the ones in the Rotted Veil? Because I know one of those makes a nuclear explosion.
No. They weren't at the Rotted Veil. They were at my favorite spot. Tony knows which one.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. I have a vague because we streamed the fuck out of that so much.
Yeah, we did so much.
I'm gonna go. I've said this story a million times, but I'll try to keep it a little bit short. I don't know if this is the biggest WoW moment, but it's like one of them that made me go, "Yo, games are going to the next level." It was watching Manny play Metal Gear Solid for the first time, right? The game starts. The game's already fucking epic already. Just like, terrorists have taken over this nuclear, blah, blah, blah. There's all crazy fucking shit going on, right? The voice acting was already blowing away because the only voice acting we had that was like okay-ish was Resident Evil, and that was bad. That was terrible even back then. Even back then we knew it was shitty, right? So this is like legit voice acting. The graphics look fucking crazy, but the thing that blew me away was, because I'm just watching him play. He gets out of the dock. He's moving around. The fucking credits are still rolling. I'm like, whoa. Like, are you controlling him as he's moving? Man, he's like, yeah. He made Snake flip around. I'm like, what the fuck? This is crazy. How is this even possible? Because back then you would have the cutscene and then the game would start. This is like, no, fuck that. Everything, it's all the same. That game didn't have any CG in it. None of that stuff. Everything was in game the whole time. So that was the first time these like games just blew me the fuck. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? This is crazy. Then of course the second time it's all tied to Metal Gear again. Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm playing this fucking game 2 hours, right? Because the game, when you boot it up, it just starts. It's like Metal Gear Solid 3. Press start. Okay. Press start. You go through the whole mission. You're in fucking Russia and shit, and then it ends with you getting fucked up by your former leader and stuff. You get your bones broken. They throw you in a fucking lake. You got to mend yourself. After all that shit happens, then the game starts. It's like a James Bond intro for a video game. I'm like, this is crazy. There's a lot of my crazy moments have come from Kojima games, man. But yeah, Metal Gear, top of the food chain, man. So that's my biggest WoW moment that I could remember. I'm trying to think, can anything top that? I don't think so, man. Because again, even till this day, I'm still trying to find a gaming moment that gives me that same thrill that Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 did. The intros, nothing's ever come close to it. All right,
but,
go ahead.
You've sort of seen it all now. For me, actually, it's the two things. It was the intro to Final Fantasy VIII.
That was crazy, yeah.
Wow. Like it looked cool. The characters, because especially since it was how much of a jump it was compared to
7,
the 7, and it was only 2 years later, or
2 years later, it was pretty close,
and
yeah.
You're just jumping that high, but then the game sucked. But
yeah,
that intro is still one of the. It still is pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, you're right, because they did the remake or remaster a couple of years ago, right? I reviewed it. That intro is still fucking good,
Yeah. And then the other thing was this, and this is at the end of the generation shit. It's God of War 1, where you're on Kronos's back on Pandora's the Pandora's temple.
Yeah.
And there's all these really cool reminders that you're on a giant man walking through a desert. So you're doing this thing, you're climbing across this thing, and then you look down, the camera looks down and you see Kronos crawling on the desert, and then there's another part where you're really close to his arm, and it's like, oh man, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, God of War had a lot of those moments, man.
Shadow of the Colossus had a lot of those moments.
Oh yeah.
I could climb up that thing? Excuse
me? All right, Adam. Biggest WoW moment in gaming.
I have two.
Just say the roadie run, man. Just say the roadie run.
No. That was a quick. But it's close. You're close to it. You're close to what changed my life. You're close. One was on the original Xbox, playing on XB Connect, and seeing that worked, and playing Ghost Recon Here it is. I'm playing online with a bunch of strangers on an Xbox, and not on PC, which is a common. So here I'm on the console, and I'm not even doing the Xbox Live service. I'm doing XB Connect, which is a back end way of doing it. And I was there with everybody playing. It was so fucking crazy. So that blew my mind. And then the second,
I did XB Connect too.
Right? That was cool. That was a cool system to run. And then the second was Gears of War, playing co-op with my buddy and just seeing how smooth that was and playing together. I'm like, we're not just playing against each other. We're in this together. We're carrying things together. We're moving things around. It was mind-blowing that
we've
come to that point.
I like playing Gears of War 5 with you too, man.
There you go. Don't worry, we'll play Gear 6 when that comes. Yeah, so those two moments, I remember. I just like shit till this day. If somebody, like you just said, that question, if that ever pops up, wow moments, those are the two that just throw right in my face. It was like shit. Remember
Skeet
playing? Yep, skeet all over the fucking place, all over my eyes. I'm like, oh shit, there's that and Gears, man.
Nice. All right, Carlos.
I already went.
Oh, you ready? Brian.
Ooh, it's a tough one. I think I have to go with my favorite one by far, which is God of War 3. Like that intro sequence when you're fighting on guy's back and the camera keeps like panning out and zooming in, and it's like it's just so hard to like comprehend the scale of it all. It's like this is a level. I'm like levels moving. How many games have it where level moves and you move on the level as it's moving? It's just, oh gosh, it's great. And plus, I like the fact that you can play the whole game without any loading screens from like the intro to the end. It's like, hey, like I was so impressed by that. It's like no loading screens. It's just you keep going. Brilliant.
Yeah, God of War loves doing that shit. It's like, yo, the level you're on is moving, man. It's not even moving. It's a living thing. It's a fucking giant monster, you know?
That's the one where you actually fight Kronos.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was crazy. All right, Brett, biggest wow moment in gaming.
Wow. Probably.
Oh, wow. By the way, the joke I was going to say was like without saying wow. No, you can say wow. You can say wow. You can say wow. I was fucking with you.
I mean, honestly, it did blow my mind because, I was a fan of the Warcraft series before that. And so they're like, okay, so it's all the places that I've seen, the whole story that I've seen. But instead of commanding an army, I'm one of those people in the army on the ground floor. Like, that's crazy. And, like, all the other people are, like, because I had played MMOs before that, but, like, not like that. Because it kind of went from Ultima Online to World of Warcraft. So it was just this huge.
EverQuest?
EverQuest was janky and ugly, so no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I preferred Ultima. So yeah, that was just one of those. It was the first time I'd ever seen like a true MMO like that, where it brought people together and people talked about it. Like usually it was just kind of a very sparse, very nerd. It's deep in the nerd forest. Then with World of Warcraft, it just came bursting out of the open. Everyone's wearing Horde t-shirts. Like it was a big thing. And I think it was the first time like that I know of that there was like this big collective. It was this big thing for gamers. I would say it was the first time that they had been collectively, enthralled in something, because there had been phenomenons from Pac-Man moving forward, but it moved beyond that. Like people irrationally hated people who played on the other team. Like it reached like a professional sports level, which was just a level of saturation I hadn't seen. So, yeah, man, opened a new world of different play style. Like it was super massive. Went on 40-man raids. Like, and this was a lot before. This was before like you could do 40 people in a shooter. So, just an immense amount of people and a hard right turn from what I knew from the franchise.
Nice. All right, moving on to the next question. It is from Assyrian Air Force. So with MLB The Show 21 going multi-platform, which Microsoft or Nintendo game would you like to see go multi-plat? Fun question. My thing is like, I own all the systems, so it fucking doesn't matter, Like, exclusives don't mean shit to me. I'll just buy one of whatever system's available on. So I'll kind of leave it to you guys. It doesn't really matter to me.
I think
I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah, you're the same way. Like we have everything, you know.
Yeah, and I mean I can play everything on the PC. So.
Yeah.
For me, it's more of whichever big one shows up on the Switch, because I just like the mobility factor of it. So I like it if we get Gears on Switch, that'd be fun. We get Forza on Switch, that'd be fun.
All right, let's settle down with that.
You know, we gotta get.
It could happen, you know. Xbox Game Pass on Switch, you know.
God of War maybe on Switch. It'll never happen, but damn, that would be fun. Like you said, like take the throwback one, the collection. You know, Infamous collection on the go. I just think of on the go. That's it. For me, that's the thing. Yeah, is it going to look great? No, it won't. But it's fun to play it on the go.
Yeah, what if it's streaming, though, man?
That will not work for me. I don't think I want to do that. I want it actually loaded in my console. That's it. I don't care what the size is. Just put it in. That's what she said.
Right. Manny, what about you?
As far
like
as...
what actually, here you go. Your answer is you want to play Gears of War on your PlayStation.
Sure, it'd be nice.
See, there you go.
It's not something I'm like, oh
No.
god.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like that, you know.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right, there you go. All right, Brian, you know, you're kind of in the same boat as me and Carl's. Like, bro, you know, you got everything already.
Yeah.
Wait, Brett, you own everything too. So, all right, that's it. You know. Oh man.
The whole room, everybody, I think I'm.
No, you're the only one. You're the only one that doesn't own everything. Like even Chris is here, he owns everything as well. You know. But we're a Sony podcast, right?
You're a bunch of ponies.
You're a pony.
Pony.
It's funny how like I'm not to point the arrow to myself, but officially I'm the only person with a PlayStation.
With only a PlayStation.
Where does the pony come from? Why a pony?
Oh, because it rhymes with, literally because it rhymes with Sony. That is the only reason.
That's the only reason. So it has nothing to do with the animal itself.
No, nothing. Yeah, it's just because it rhymes. Yeah, go ahead, Brett.
People aren't that clever.
They're not. They're really not. You know, yeah, the pony down. That's what we've been called that for fucking years, man. It's ridiculous. All right, man. Next question. This one's kind of fun too. Which PlayStation and Xbox franchises would you like to see have an MCU style crossover? Yo, like would have like a fucking Gears of War invades the Uncharted universe or something, or you know, actually that'd be something. Imagine The Last of Us and Gears of War, like at least taking out the locusts and shit.
Didn't we talk about this last week? There was something. There was a crossover that we said should happen and could happen.
It was Doom and Halo.
That was a Doom and Halo.
Yeah, but this is PlayStation and Xbox franchises now. Forza X Gran Turismo, you know.
God of Gears of War.
God of oh shit. Yeah, you imagine Kratos taking down a Brumac and shit, you know?
Yeah. They both have the same initial, GOW.
Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah, like which GOW?
Kratos have the two of those chainsaw guns attached to the chains on his arms. Marcus Phoenix could do some crazy shit.
The thing is, Master Chief and Doomslayer, we answered last week, but think about it, Doomslayer is now one of the Microsoft characters.
Yeah, he's a Microsoft character now.
Burgess says Greg and Demon Souls.
Greg and Demon Souls.
See if it had its own game.
Wait, what happened, Adam?
It was like some kind of crossover with Halo and what you call it, the Marine from Doom.
Doom guy. Or Doom, yeah.
Made its own game. I think that would be interesting because it's still in space. They could easily just say they came across each other through a Halo on a specific planet, you know. Yeah,
and then Master Chief ends up in hell, you know.
Yeah, they could definitely do it. It could be one of those what ifs. Remember when Marvel used to do those?
Yeah, man. Well, this is a big what if, you know.
Yeah, bring that shit back. Bring back what if, but just for games. Just fucking make all these weird mashups with all.
It'll be a licensing nightmare, you know.
With the remix,
Doomslayer X Little Big Planet, that'd be brutal. He's just hacking those things apart, you know.
There wouldn't be any blood though.
No, there would no blood. Yeah, no blood.
It'd just be stuffing from whatever's inside of the sack boys.
That one that you were playing it, Manny. Damn, I'm drawing a blank. That had Disney and all those characters in it. What was
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
do a Kingdom Hearts, but with all this other shit, with Halo and
right.
Adam, I know what you're gonna say, but that's not part of the question. But I don't care about the question. The question is dumb. That's what you're gonna be your response.
No, I'm just expanding. I can't expand.
But how is an Adam's thing not part of it? It still fits.
PlayStation, Kingdom Hearts is not a PlayStation or Xbox.
No.
franchise?
He said style. Like think.
I thought he said the game.
No, he didn't say the game. He didn't say the game.
That we're talking about. Throw
you could do a Kingdom Hearts style, like MCU game, or Kingdom Hearts / MCU style, big open world game or something with all these characters.
Through some other portal and they come across Kratos, who's going to help them with the boy.
Yeah,
and they do that thing.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah, Dom gets together and shit with Atreus. That'd be crazy.
You have the boy, and then you have the Microsoft Connect kid.
His name is. Milo.
Milo. Boy and Milo.
Yeah.
Milo and boy.
Yeah, get Skittles in there too.
Skittles, man. Yeah.
See him like fishing. Easter egg.
Yeah, right.
Is Uncharted X Gears like the only compelling one? Because I don't see any of all the other ones that are kind of compelling.
Well, like I said, I want to see God of War versus Gears of War. That'd be dope. Like complete, like polar opposites,
But are you gonna keep it for one? Like, is it gonna be a third person shooter or is it gonna be a?
It'll be a third person game for sure. It depends on the character. If you're playing as Kratos, it becomes a hack and slash game. If you're playing as Marcus Phoenix, it's a shooting game.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, then think about it. Because you're doing co-op, right? One of you guys is playing Kratos, the other guy's playing Marcus Phoenix. So one guy's hacking and slashing, the other guy's shooting.
Chainsawing people.
Yeah, man.
Or about how about Halo and Killzone?
Resistance. Throw that in there.
Resistance also. Yeah.
Sly Cooper in there just cause stealing shit.
Sly Cooper can cross paths with Blinks the cat.
There you go.
Snake and Sam Fisher. And they work together.
Wait, those are different. Those are not PlayStation or Microsoft guys.
Crazy crossovers. If you throw them all in that fictional game with crossovers, that would be fun. They work together on a mission.
Be crazy. All right, man. And the final question of the night, also from Mr. Tumeke. All right. When all the bullshit related to gaming / gamers, outrage, Puddlegate, Craig gets to be too much and kills any excitement, do you have a safe zone / other interest that you go to? My other love is cars, so I retreat to reading up on the latest news and watching videos while I wait for the latest gaming outrage to die down. First thing, when that happens, just get the fuck off Twitter, bro. Get off Twitter, because it gets ridiculous, But no, if you have other hobbies, you don't have to play games all the time. You could do other things. For me, I sounded really like, oh my God, I need to get away from this outrage. Like, I don't care. It just comes with the territory. But yeah, when I'm not, on Twitter or gaming, for work or whatever, I read, write, do that shit. Go hang out, I can't do that so much now because of Rona, but still do that. There's other things.
So then, unlike some people, you actually write.
Yes. Oh.
And unlike some people, you will finish.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Brian, man. Oh, God. Hey, Brian, why don't you go next, man?
I'm not the one. Okay, that's a bit too obvious.
Oh, no, I mean, I don't think the person in question knows, but, we know.
I'd do like another cut there, but I was like, you know what, that'd be like, it'd be too obvious if they know that person.
Yeah, no,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Me? Cooking. This is why I'm interested when Carl says that he cooks. I enjoy me some cooking. Made some roulade this evening, which is quite nice. If you know what that is, then you know. If you don't know, that's totally fine. I do that, and it helps me stay off Twitter. Like, I think that's the best thing you can do. Just stay off it. Like,
stay off Twitter.
I've now gone to the point now where I don't even check it over the weekends. Like, over the weekends, it's pretty much just off and it's on the side, and that's it. And
he's telling the truth because he ignores all our messages.
It's the weekend. I'm not.
Fuck you guys.
All of Brian's messages come at like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, when he's waking up over there,
He's actually up,
one of two times: when I get into work or when I get home from work. That's usually the two times when I'm on. But over the weekend, nah. That's times for games, cooking, relaxing, watching films. Yes, also watching films. I do watch quite a lot of films. These days, I'm watching a lot of cosmic horror films.
Oh, some Lovecraft shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
I may actually buy some of his books, but apparently he was a racist, so I should not. But
yeah, hey, that's how people were back then, bro. Hit me up. I'll tell you, Brian. I'll tell you which books to pick up, man. We'll talk afterwards.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, cosmic horror film, and Manny, I seen Underwater, and you are totally right, Manny. That film has no right being that good.
We're not gonna get into a discussion about the movie.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, we'll talk about yeah.
I disagree with Manny. That film has no right being that good because movie, yes. So yeah, cooking, watching films, anime not so much because it's not so much. But yeah, stay off Twitter, man. It's fucking dumb people on there all the time.
Yeah. All right. What about the rest of you guys?
I guess collecting figures is one of my things.
But the thing is, like, you don't care about what happens on Twitter, so you don't need to get away from it,
No, I don't. I mean, to be honest, you know how I get away from Twitter? I actually, and this may have to do with my dyslexia, I don't actually automatically read text when I see it. I actually physically have to focus to read stuff. So the way me going through Twitter is literally looking at pictures. I'm just scrolling, looking at, oh yeah, that's a nice looking picture. Hey, look at that. Everything else is just white noise. So I don't like all this stuff. Like Tony's like, oh man, they're all losing their minds again. I'm like, really? I don't see nothing. I'm not seeing it. I'm just flipping through pictures. But I mean, at least for me, for hobbies in general, it's it's collecting action figures. I love watching movies. That's how I sort of get away from it. Well, I mean, that's sort of brings me away from the internet. And then also, my hobby just so happens to be my work. So, whenever I can work on my own things and also do fun stuff like plug. I did the logo for Adam's new podcast, which is called I Am Negan. I did that, for fun, So yeah, doing stuff like that. And that's how I kind of get away from sort of things. And then sometimes it's just not even really looking at, then the other thing is just sort of, and this is something that's happened recently. I just sort of not allowing myself to not be distracted by something, which means, having a phone in front of your face or having some sort of, something else in front of your face and just sort of enjoying the day as it is. Well, forever it may be boring, it is, but something sort of comforting about the silence without any sort of distractions, and actually experiencing the hours of the day as opposed to covering it over with a bunch of distractions.
Yeah. Because by the way, this question is kind of related to because we've been asked what do you guys do outside of gaming? So it's kind of tearing on that, but I think that's a good way of kind of leaning right now. It's like, what do you do just to mentally relax? I guess because I'm thinking about the other like Brett the Pete doesn't really go on Twitter like that. I know you recently came back, but you don't really fuck with social media like that to begin with, so it doesn't really bother you.
I do that for my job, so I'm constantly kind of running away from it. So I don't know, man. I don't think social media is a good hobby at all.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Like, you definitely don't want to make that like a big part of your life. So I think to a certain extent, we all should be just running from it. But if I could play video games, or I think which is kind of the heart of the question, is like if I was somehow driven from video games via Twitter, or if I was just somehow driven from Twitter.
Yeah, again, it's like because he's specifically asking when the Twitter drama gets to be too much. What do you do to get away from it? Like I said, my advice is just get the fuck off Twitter.
Don't use Twitter.
That's it. Don't use Twitter. Get off it.
You close the application and say, I don't really give a fuck what other people out there think. I mean, you guys have heard some of the shit that I've said. I clearly don't care what other people think. For the people that like me, awesome. I love you guys back. For people that don't like me, cool. That's your prerogative, man. I don't really care. Just adopt the mindset of as long as you like you, you're fine. So just close Twitter and be like, yeah, I don't really need this shit in my life anymore. And then go watch a movie. Go read something.
There you go. Do something productive, you know.
Yeah.
Be creative.
The one thing that I would recommend is
Write
do something.
Write a book and finish it, Brian. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
Do something active. Don't sit there and have passive entertainment. Don't just sit there and zone out and watch TV, because you're still going to be cycling over that same shit in the back of your mind. Use something that encompasses your mind. Active entertainment. Play an actual video game. Read a book. Something that stimulates you and challenges you a little bit more than just zoning at the TV. Because zoning, going on Twitter and then laying in bed with the TV on, that doesn't count as not being on Twitter for the second part. Like, you're just sitting there thinking about it. So, avert your attention.
There you go. And Adam, you're another guy. You don't really go on Twitter like that anyway.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's all about who you follow, and the people that I follow. No one talks about that shit. I follow a lot of people do like retro gaming, toys, figures, the UFC stuff, soccer stuff. So I don't really get a lot of the banter that you see of people arguing and really.
Well, that's all I see.
This fanboy war. Oh, you motherfucker! I don't see that. And then I don't retweet that stuff because I don't want to get the people that are following me and then into that whole thing. And next, we get discussion and they throw me into the bus. Like, oh, you're doing this shit too. You're part of the problem. Like, oh Lord. So I avoid that type of stuff. And then if I do start getting just stressed, I'm linking this just to everyday shit that we see going on in the news and stuff. I just zone out. Same thing like Manny. I collect wrestling figures. I got a shitload of them. Do that, or I spend time with my kids and we play old retro games. My son and my daughter, we got to like level 5 on this shit here. My son's 4 years old, so he was freaking out that he could even press buttons. And that's it, just move on, because there's life outside of all that, and you just have to remember it. Just not get too sucked into it, because believe it or not, even before Twitter, there was IRC, and I was on there, and I know a lot of buddies that lived on that shit. And it's the same thing. It was just like, once you get in a group and you start talking, or even WoW, for example. I know people that got hooked. My cousin got hooked on fucking WoW. Man, remember Daniel? This guy from work, home, WoW, to stay up all nights and did not sleep, go back, and it was because he was committed to that group of people. It wasn't so much the game. It was, I have to be there for these people. And then they would give him shit if he didn't show up on time. And it was that stress. I'm like, yo, there's all the things you do. You can detach yourself from that. It's hard, but he did it. He got married. He had some kids. He moved on.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, man. The thing about Twitter is it perfectly fills in the gaps when you're not doing things. Like okay, I finished work right now. I don't have anything to do for 15 minutes. Fucking around on Twitter. Oh, I'm going. I'm on the bus right now. Fucking around on Twitter. Like it fills in the gaps.
All right. So what do you consider fucking around on Twitter? Like just reading or actually jumping in on
both
sharing things? All right.
Looking at my notifications, retweeting stuff, commenting on some shit, my things have, my life has gone easier than that basically, this may sound fucked up, I'm just being honest. If somebody replies to me and they have like, coming with some bullshit and they have like less than like maybe 500 followers, I'm like, I'm not even replying to this guy. He's just a nobody, like I don't have time for that, but if you come at me, even if you have one follower, but you come at me with something constructive, I will reply, but like I would say 70% of the shit I get is horse shit. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this now. Because before I would reply to everything, spend hours just fucking arguing with these guys nowadays. And here's the thing, since I have way more followers now, I have way more haters as that motherfucker from before. So I have to really just like zone out, which kind of sucks because I sometimes miss messages from people who I'm actually cool with, but it's just, dude, you don't even know, man. Like I get maybe like average like 100, 200 notifications an hour or something. It's just constant, So my Twitter, I try to just focus on the main timeline, but even that could be some bullshit too, But I just, but I've learned how to get away from it, But sometimes like I'm just there like, just gotta pull it out because I'm not doing nothing, I remember I was watching fucking that Console Wars movie, and like every 15 minutes I'd be like, But if I'm playing a game, that's not even an issue. It's like I'm focused. Or if I'm reading a book, I'm focused, But when I'm watching like a TV show or something, it's just like, that's why I stop watching TV or movies. I can't. But if I'm in a movie theater, I'm fine. I'm focused,
No, I mean, you're forced to put the phone away.
Yeah. And of course, Manny, you know this too. When I'm hanging out with my friends, I don't even touch my phone, I'm focused. I'm with my people now, I know there's some younger casters like while they're hanging out, each other, like, you guys aren't even fucking talking right now. What are you doing? Like they're just sitting across from each other, typing his shit.
In general, Twitter is definitely addictive, and it's made to be that way.
It is, yeah, because it's very quick, satisfying. Yeah,
when you're able to sort of resist those urges of idle hands, you end up being a lot better off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my Twitter experience is better now because I've learned. Because again, before I would just engage with every single person. I don't do that shit anymore.
I've always had more followers. I'm always getting messages for all kinds of stuff, but at the same time, it's like I don't. If it's the way I usually do it, if it's somebody that I know, I usually might answer, or sometimes I just leave it alone because it's like I don't even need it. If you want to really talk to me, Twitter's not the place to do it.
Yeah.
It's everybody knows my number. Call me up.
Yo, man, the guys in the chat don't know your number.
My brother, sometimes, if some of the guys in the chat message me about something, I'll do a little, something like that, like that. But I don't answer all the time, and that's just me in general.
Yeah. All right.
You guys know you have like 1,000 conversations in the fucking private chat we got, and I'm like, cool. And then when I do say something of importance, you don't even see it because you're all covered up in that wall of text.
Hey, me and Carlos are talking important stuff, man.
I see all this shit going on, so then I'll say something, and I'm like, "You're late again with this." I'm like, "I don't see it. I don't know. I didn't see it."
The business like goes on too.
30 messages before.
Oh man,
that chat is dedicated for everything and also Throwdown business.
Yeah, it's
everything and Throwdown business.
And then occasionally Chris will jump in there with a like a GIF or something. It's hilarious, man.
I mean, y'all need to get off of Twitter.
Yeah, man. By the way, here's the thing though. If you guys notice my Twitter thing, I'm the most active on Twitter during my work hours because, like, I write a paragraph or two, need a little break on Twitter, because it's right here in front of me, So I'm tweeting all the fucking time when I'm working, So my hours are like between 10 a.m. and like 5 p.m. I'm just on Twitter, because I'm writing too,
Turn that shit off.
Yeah, it's hard though, man. It's hard, Because the thing is, I kind of need I'll just be real. Sometimes I'm writing about some bullshit I don't want to write about, So Twitter's a nice distraction for that, to kind of mentally rework things. There's a word for it, but you know what I'm talking about,
And also Twitter is like a place where you get news and stuff.
Yeah,
also,
that's the other thing. Dude, I just realized something. I haven't gone to a gaming website in like probably years because all the news is on Twitter. I don't have to go to a single website now,
Yep.
Yeah, and when something pops, the whole timeline is just on that, Like last week, right? Whenever the hell it happened, the whole Bethesda thing, I'm just on Twitter. What the fuck? And then I got a call from Danny. I'm like, I know what Danny called me about. Oh man, I was like Bethesda. Oh shit. Yeah, that's the best utility of Twitter. The news. I get all my news from Twitter. I'm talking about all the news. But of course you got to cycle through some bullshit. What? Martians are coming. And George Bush is their leader. What the fuck is going on here? Anyway, man. So let's start wrapping up again. A couple things to tell you guys before we get out of here. Got a lot of stuff, man. Again, shout out to Mr. Jose Polanco for our new channel trailer, which is dope. A lot of animations and stuff going on. It's crazy. Oh, by the way, I hope one of you guys picked up that Xbox pass I threw in there, the Game Pass Ultimate.
Did anybody respond to that?
I didn't see anybody respond. You know what? I'm going to throw that motherfucker in here one more time. Just in case.
We're a pony podcast.
Yeah. Yo, I'll be honest right now, because a lot of times when we give away these Xbox codes, motherfuckers don't pick it up.
Yeah, what was it?
Was it Adam? What is it, Adam?
No one picked it up.
Yeah.
We were giving away free Forza cars.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a fuck.
Nobody gives a shit.
Not even you, Damien? You don't want a Forza car? Come on.
Maybe he had it. Maybe he had it.
Had that one, yeah.
Maybe he did, All right, so there's a code one more time. We'll hang out here for a little bit longer. You guys can grab that. But I still got some shit to tell you. Again, contest people. If you want to win a free console from us, that's Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 next-gen console. The Switch does not count for this shit. That's not a next-gen console. That's not even a current-gen console as far as I'm concerned. You go over to our Twitter at Throwdown Show, and the pinned tweet is going to be a question. What the fuck's the question again? Like, what do you want to see from next gen? Something along those lines. Reply to that tweet. We're going to take all your names, round them all up, and we're going to announce a winner on October 22nd. That is Throwdown episode 307 at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be cool. And yeah, pimping stuff. We got to pimp some stuff. So Manny, you go first.
Oh yeah, so yeah, don't forget to, if you're interested in checking out the review for the Limb Toys Phantom Legend Ahab Tiger Stripe S++ figure, we have that on our YouTube.
Yes.
A little unboxing. Also for me, don't forget to check out Excellence. Excellence number 9 is out. It's a Bird by DC Comics. It's free on Comixology. You can also pick up a Batman Death Metal.
Dark Knight's Death Metal. I forgot the name of the thing you're using. You're on
Dark Knight Death Metal. It was a compendium, which it kind of gives you a bunch of different stories, and me and Kari did some work on that. And then I got some other fun, cool stuff that I can't talk about coming in the future.
Nice. And yeah, guys, that Game Pass thing is for new members only, so just be aware of that. Thank you for letting us know that, Mr. Fergus. Adam, man, you definitely got some stuff to plug tonight.
Man, to plug, and thank you for people. It's been a very positive response for the I Am Negan. It's a Walking Dead universe podcast that I put together with Rich and Dane and other people from the coalition and Carlos. And we posted up 2 episodes, the season finale for season 10 and the season premiere of World Beyond. And man, it's been blowing up. Got almost 300-400. Yeah, I think it's like 350 something like that. New subs, and we don't even push for that. People just if you want to follow whatever. We're not one of those type of shows, and people are doing it. They're all for it, and it's been great. And now we have, of course, Manny mentioned earlier, he did the image for it. We're just waiting for iTunes and Spotify to approve it, but yeah, that'll be a tag so everybody can see that beautiful image. And it's been great. It's been great. I'm looking forward to what happens next with all of this and with the community that grows around it. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Adam, don't let all that success get to your head, man.
It's not gonna get to my head. It's just
you're gonna be like, I'm dropping out of Throwdown. You guys are. What do you got? 300 subscribers. Screw you guys.
Yeah, no, who did that? There was somebody we know that did some shit like that. No, it's just fun. It's just fun.
I was about to drop a name, but I can't do that. Oh,
I know. Don't drop the name. Don't drop. But it's just been fun. It's just something that we figured we kick off, and we got a great response, and that's the best we could ask for. It's like, just keep it growing, and we're always linking everything together, so it's all family here, and that's it. Just if you're looking for it, I Am Negan. It's on YouTube, Coalition. It's also on Spotify, iTunes, all that shit. So go ahead, check it out.
I'm gonna tell you this, Adam. When the last season, it's gonna be popping, man.
It's gonna be nuts. Yeah, 30 episodes, but it's spanning 2 years. So we got a long time, and we still got the more spin-offs. We got your boy Daryl Norman Reedus with his Kojima probably going to show up in one of those episodes on his spin-off. I'm telling you, we laugh about it, but I'm telling you, there's no way he's going to say, you know what? I was in your game. I want you in my show. It's going to happen.
Kojima will be a zombie and shit.
That could be fucked up too, but it might maybe. Who knows? A lot of people have shown up as zombies
with the glasses.
Yeah, with the glasses, of course, and the beard.
He could have already been a zombie.
That is true. He could have already been there. Who knows? But yeah,
he would have. Kojima would have fucking sent pictures on.
Yeah, he would have. Oh yeah, Kojima would have done that, and the food he was eating on the set, all that.
Oh yeah, and then
what movie you watched on the plane right there?
Everybody, it's been cool.
Good stuff, man.
Everybody's cool.
All right, people. So that's it. So make sure you follow us on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube and join our Discord. Follow us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show, and visit throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you later, guys.
Carlos Romero.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Adam Vale.
Have a good week, people.
Brett Murdoch.
Some real people.
And Brian Monjoma.
No one is afraid of being alone in the dark. They are afraid of not being alone in the dark.
That is true.
This man's reading some Lovecraft, man.
He's getting deep.
Yeah. All right. Brian, just remember, do not stare too long into the abyss, because the abyss may stare back at you. That's some Halloween shit too. That's very appropriate, bruh. You know, I just fucked up Brian's mind. Like, oh shit. You know,
out here in London, people get stabbed for doing that.
All right, man. All right, so we'll see you on Thursday, people. Later.
Later, guys.
Peace.